So last time, I'm not gonna go into that, but like when I was re-listening to the episode before I uploaded it, so I could have it later, it was the coolest thing in the world because at the end of the episode, like we said whatever, and everybody was like, "What?" And everybody at the same time, I was like, "That is the coolest feeling ever." The big old got him. That was really neat.
Was that when we heard about the?
Yeah, yeah. Like I finished reading it, and then everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And you're like,
"Oh yeah. I gotcha."
The little death.
Yeah. So I'll read Clyde Bowman's note again at the start. But before that, was there anything you wanted to go over, Chad, with your notes for everybody or anything like that? If not, it's fine. Not a big deal either way.
I mean, at a very high level, right? So, like, this was the same day that we all met.
It was.
Mr. Happy's. We got our little card. We got our dossier on Bowman. And our mission clearing, finding and removing evidence of the program from his stuff. We found the cabin information from the IRS papers and with the clue of the cabin key in the apartment. Hopefully that was all that was in the apartment. Got a little information on Cassie, which may or may not become relevant. Cabin up on Raccoon Mountains where we're at. The curiously visible septic tank. Tool shed in the outhouse that we really haven't been in yet. Dusty footlocker. Had the magnetic, quote unquote, or the Anglo-Saxon knife with runes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The letter about the little death drug thing, and the note. So that was all the information we had.
That was it. All right.
If I remember correctly, the note said to burn whatever's in the container.
Septic tank. Yeah, it said, don't look at it, for God's sake. Don't look. Burn it.
Yeah, which I think is why everyone was going...
Like, what the fuck? I gotta tell you, I slept good that night. Made me feel good.
Glad you did.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's begin. And we'll begin this session, much like the last session, where we have a little intro. Last time, I had said that your vision... this is for the players, again. Again, this is just for the players, not for the characters. Our vision goes into this damp, dark place. And we see a figure crouched down, looking at a television in this dark room. And the television with static. And then you see a form sitting there. A little more professional than last time. Not as grainy. Looks to be like an FBI interrogation room, but not like a under the house interrogation room. There's a big difference there. He starts to talk. Say, shadowy figure, you're not able to make out exactly what he looks like, other than he's a man. It seems to be some kind of debriefing. You can see a bunch of papers in front of him, or interrogation.
Was this how the other video last time started?
Pretty much, yeah. Looks a little bit nicer than the last video.
Okay, so it's different. Like,
different.
The same.
Yeah, so like, you could assume, like, this person is either has multiple of these videos that they're watching, or something of the sense, from maybe different sources. But the person on the screen...
I'll listen for the name Dawn.
The person on the screen... When the new agent dies, there's isn't much to it. He curls into the back seat with his legs almost up to his chest, and he stops moving. We keep driving. There's nothing else to do. Everything smells of blood, and then after, everything smells like shit. The smell reminds me of my son's birth and why I have to do these things. O'Hara weeps, though she didn't know him. No one did, really. 20 hours earlier, the agent had been pecking away at a keyboard, safe and as safe as a cyber terror security advisor at some forgettable think tank, Maryland. Then he was our op. Now he's the mission. He's like describing something to whoever's on the other end of the table. We stop at the culvert of Long Lake, and I step from the car. I look around. The rest area, it's like off-season or closed. But beneath the purple light of some sodium arc lamps, snowflakes filter down. The gravel is covered in ice, and the lake is a black line at the edge of the trees. I sat with my wife here and roasted hot dogs and listened to the radio. We slept here and looked at the stars before I knew the world was bullshit. Back when I was happy. Before I knew the stars looked back. Tonight, I saw something like a dog made of swirling mirrors leap through the agent from a point in space that seemed somehow further than the edges of the room that we were in. The agent, I don't remember his name, staggered out with us then. The Freon fire suppression system engaged, and we made it clear of the building before he sagged into my arms, covering me in blood from 1,000 tiny holes. I can't remember his name. It seems it was important now, at Long Lake, that I know his name. What was his real name? Not the pseudonym we called him. It won't come. This is not like me. It disturbs me almost more than the body in the back seat. It's not my first body. I step to the trunk. Inside are 2 body bags, some garbage bags, chain, hacksaw, ice pick, 4 cinder blocks. It's time to get to work. My son is 9 years old. I dreaded every day leading up to his arrival. I could say nothing to my wife. What can I say? How could I tell her? And then he arrived, pure biological imperative, in 7 pounds 4 ounces. Adam, my unreasoning hope. I open the back of the rental car, pull the agent out by an arm. The body slides out like a stillborn fetus and flops to the ground with a thud. In the cold air, wave of blood, shit fills my nostrils, and I think of Adam, and I know that I have to get on with it. Until it's someone else's turn. And the video fades out, and we come to our players in that cabin right around Raccoon Mountain. Who had the note in their hand? I don't remember who had pulled it out, all this shit, because we were just kind of going through it. It's not that important, but...
I think it was me.
I think it was Chad.
Okay.
It was Philip.
I'll read it
I
again.
think I had the weird orb. I think is what I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, the orb sucked at my stomach, and
Okay. Yeah. So, then we have the note in Philip's hand. We have the orb in David's hand, or something. Remy, did you grab the knife?
I think I did, yeah.
Okay. Remy
and
probably...
she translated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remy still has the knife. Okay. Yeah, so the note, again, I'll just go through it really quickly. To whom it may concern, if you are reading this note, I can assume I have died or become incapacitated before I had the courage to complete my final mission. You will find about 20 gallons of gas in the shed behind this cabin. Pour it into the septic tank beside the cabin and ignite it. You'll be happier if you didn't look inside. Please make sure that the remains are kept for my children. I am so sorry. God, please forgive me. Signed, Clyde Bowman. The rain still pouring down inside this cabin.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. I think I should tell you guys that you should do what he says and not look in there, but I'm gonna go look. So I'd prefer to not do it alone.
My gut says we follow it to a T.
I don't want to look.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to look, but I don't know, man. Shit's fucked
I
up.
mean, I've got an orb here that's magnetic, and it shouldn't be magnetic. This is
You
fucked up.
who's a what?
This orb is magnetic.
Well, I mean, like it's.
Yeah, that's the thing that tried to pull my burrito out of my stomach. Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, the orb's real magnetic.
Yeah.
What did that other thing say? Ayahuasca or some shit?
No, no, no.
No. What was it? We had a note and we had a letter.
Yeah, there was a letter about a ritual with ayahuasca.
What was it called,
I don't.
right?
Yeah,
I've heard of that shit.
yeah, I've heard about it on a podcast. There's a Joe Rogan podcast. He always talks about doing it to enlighten your mind. But I'm no doctor.
I mean, it's like fucking vision quests and shit, right?
Yeah, that's what he always talks about. Find your spirit animal kind of shit, but like dialed up to 15.
I watched most of y'all arrive with somebody that seemed to care about you. And I got some of that myself. I think we do the job. Get the fuck out of here.
Is there anything nearby I can wrap this orb up with?
Yeah, so it's in your hand right now, and you showed Philip, right?
Yeah.
Did you show him how it was magnetic? Or he just kind of took your word for it, Philip?
I think they all saw it happen. We were all standing together, like right next to each other. I would assume because we were all gathered around the end of the bed.
I mean, I don't know what he did,
Yeah.
when he held it out or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't watching. It was just you two.
Okay. Roger.
So I mean, you were telling me about it,
Yeah.
right, David?
Yeah.
So did you just tell me?
Yeah. It grabbed a hold of something metal on Philip's body, and it shouldn't be doing that. I mean, it's a glass orb, is it not? Zach?
It is.
What?
Yeah, it's glass.
What the? Yeah, man. This shit's getting weirder.
Yeah, so there's like an old throw on the end of the bed you could use if you wanted to.
I'll wrap it up. Lots of times.
Lots of times, yeah. Sure. Sure, and if you wanted more, you could find more blankets or whatever throughout the house.
You can put that in my backpack. If you don't have anything on you. I've got room.
Okay, I'll put it in your backpack then.
Okay. So you put it in your backpack. You feel this lurch in your stomach as you stick it in your backpack.
Okay, maybe I'm gonna regret taking that from you. Whew.
Just like you would drop down a small little roller coaster when your dad hits that perfect hill when you're driving down the road, the right speed.
So we need to figure out what we're gonna do about outside. I understand what y'all are saying. This is kind of we've all had our experiences. This is y'all's first time doing this, and trust me, I'm all about following orders. But just
I'll
it's
go out
sometimes
with
it's
you.
better to know what you're against. I don't know how to make you believe me or how to say it, but the unknown is not what we want here.
I'll go out with you, but I don't know if I'll look.
Oh, I mean, I'm here to help. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying maybe we just take his damn word for it. I don't know. What do you? I mean,
Well, we could always just I guess flip a coin. There's got to be a coin in here somewhere. Maybe Remy can flip it. There's no good answer to these things.
You're not wrong.
I know I sound like an angsty teenager, but just, there's not a right answer here.
All right. Well,
I mean, if we blow it up, there's a chance that things are going to be scattered anyway.
Yeah.
The note said keep the bodies away, right?
The note said, hang on. The note said, please make sure that the remains are kept from my children.
oh shit.
What?
Do you have an epiphany?
The remains. His kids. I mean, dude's got a dead
You don't-
wife.
You don't think he chopped his wife or his granddaughter up, put her in a septic tank, do you? It's a little bit. That's a little bit too Dahmer.
I don't know what he did, but if he specifically it requested that we ensure that his children don't see the remains, I mean,
True.
if it's not her, it's got to be somebody they know. Why else would he even bring that up?
I don't know. There's not a lot about this guy that makes sense to me. To be honest, it's like he's
You're not wrong.
trying to.
Doesn't want his
He's like
kids to know just how crazy he seemed he was by having to, put remains in a tank.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, that isn't something you do on a normal Wednesday. You're right. You don't just go outside and put some remains in a septic tank. I gotta agree with you. I don't know. What do we have that can burn this thing?
Make the habit of keeping evidence.
I'm fresh out of Molotov cocktails. I don't just walk around with those every day. That's not a normal thing I have. So what do we got to burn this? How can we even?
There's gas in the
20
shed.
gallons of gas, apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see if let's check on that first. Let's make sure it's still there.
Let's all go get wet together.
Anything else worth looking at in the house while we're in here?
Um,
It was pretty Spartan, right?
yeah, that was the apartment was. This looks old.
Well, I mean, Spartan in that there's not a lot in here in the cabin.
Yeah. You could pretty much do a once-over like you guys already did, and I didn't really see much more than that. Yeah.
I think you said maybe there was a bathroom. Otherwise, it was just a room.
Yeah, there is a bathroom. But yeah, it's just a room. Only thing that stood out was the footlocker.
Yeah. Okay.
And then because it had less dust on
It
it.
wasn't like an attic or a basement or a crawl space.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, he what did he say in the? Where's that stupid letter?
So we need to go to the shed. He said,
To the shed.
get
And-
some gas.
The gas in the shed. Yeah. All right. Well, we were
So-
planning on going there soon, anyways.
Yeah, and I'm going, since this is the first operation that you guys have done, I'm going to reiterate. No, I'm not suggesting you guys are doing anything wrong. I'm just simply doing this to reiterate what he asks you to do. Proceed to the residence of Clyde Bowman. Remove any evidence of Delta Green's activities. Bowman heirs are expected 48 hours. Make sure everything is clean by then. Involve no one else in this operation. Meet in the same conference room for 48 hours for the report. If you find signs that Bowman violated Delta Green's security, report him. And that wasn't a hint. I just wanted you guys to know going forward that is what he's told you guys to do.
So he told us to report him.
I thought there was a hint given to me by the smiley puppet guy that there was a high likelihood there was an old artifact type thing, not artifact like Egyptian, but something that could be very old that was linked, that they wanted recovered if you found it. They were worried that Bowman had done something with it, had kept it, shouldn't have kept it.
Yeah.
We have two.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess the knife is older, and we have what do we have? We have a magical glass sphere.
We have a knife that I think you said was Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah. Yep. Anglo-Saxon.
So I mean it's pretty old.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to
Yeah.
ruin your groove, but I wanted to say that so you could put it into your thoughts as you guys were moving forward, because
I mean, technically, that means that we removed evidence of the cabin from the apartment, technically.
So the problem's going to be he acquired that cabin, and I don't have the exact notes.
IRS acquisitions that he did some swapping with is what you guys came to the conclusion.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is that it occurred, I believe, in the late 70s or late 80s.
It was a while ago, yeah.
So like he's probably been using this cabin as a vacation spot. I would guess. I mean, maybe not.
This was after his stint at Delta, correct?
Yeah, that was 67 to 70. That's what we have on record that he served at Delta. He was in the IRS for a little bit before and a long time after.
I can't remember.
He retired in 99.
But yeah, he retired in 99. She died in like early 2000s. Oh wait, you gave us the handout. With
I
that
did.
information.
I did.
Yeah, here it is. IRS 65 to 99. The group 6770, taking part in 11 operations, numerous consultations with a specialty in taxation and property confiscations, no current association with the group. Had the key, had the apartment. Yeah, the wife, the daughter, and the son. So, what? I can't remember when. I don't think I saw it in here. Yeah, when was the paperwork that we found that included this cabin?
I thought it was in the mid 70s. I thought that's when Remy found it.
That's what I was thinking. I just couldn't remember because it was when the kid was young or something.
Yeah, one of his children or his granddaughter was young. It was I know he acquired the cabin after he was officially done with Delta. He was still doing IRS stuff and pulling strings. So I want to say mid 70s, but I don't know what year an exact.
Sounds right. Regardless, it's all speculation. But my concern is that yes, we have theoretically done our job at the apartment, but what are the odds that the children and or grandchildren, vacation here as kids, and so they're going to want to come back here, right? And especially if he warned us to keep the remains away from, the kids or whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, you post several good points. You don't know if he has contacted them and if they vacation there. You don't know if remains mean a body or remains he knows that it's Delta Green coming up to clean up his tracks, and AKA that maybe like mean the cabin or remains of everything. You don't know.
So yeah, so my concern is that if we don't take care of his requests in some way, shape, or form here, that Cat's going to be out of the bag.
Well, the good news is we have an FBI agent that's probably pretty good at making a scene look like a drunk kid committed arson. So, I mean, we had 20 gallons of gas. It's more than enough for a cabin and a septic tank. We don't need that all for a septic tank in the back. So,
I hope we don't need that all for the septic tank.
Do we need to report this first before we do this?
Do what?
So do we need to report this before we do this, though?
So
no, I would say we take notes
in an emergency.
Yeah, I don't want to trying to do official business with. No, I don't know. We do that in person.
Yeah, that. If shit goes downhill quick, and we're on the run from something or other, maybe we'll call that favor in. But as of right now, I would assume that he probably would rather hear this in person, like you said there, Mr. Webb. All right. Well,
So I think we need to take care. We need to take care of the septic tank, make sure it's thoroughly extra crispy, and then we have to do something. We have to do something with the cabin. I guess
So-
since we've
here's the thing, right? I'm very concerned about his request in the septic tank. I'm not necessarily advocating for burning this thing to the ground. It's well, there's a lot of wildfires in other places in the world right now. I'm assuming this place is pretty dry too. I'd really rather I can smooth over a lot of things with the agency.
Literally raining.
it's rain. So there's a pretty good storm. So we could. We're not gonna. It probably wouldn't. It would probably be kind of hard. To your point, Mister Phillip, it's probably the cabin's not going to burn well in the storm either. But I think we can maybe disfigure it enough to discourage, I don't know, say a family from just trying to walk in the front door, or we
Well, I guess
could.
the point is if we appropriately take care of this, it's pretty easy to say, some sort of bizarre, lightning strike hit some methane buildup and the septic tank exploded.
Yeah.
That's a pretty plausible sort of scenario, And you're right. I feel like there's a good chance we either would hardly do anything at all to the cabin, or on the off chance that it does get out of our control, we could burn down half the fucking mountain. So I think let's focus on the one, because as long as that goes away, and we have these items, then it doesn't matter if anybody comes up here. I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Little,
right.
Scalpel, and then we'll take out the hammer or the mallet if we need it, right?
Especially if we actually have gas first.
Yeah, I vote we go back out the same way, and
Let's
I mean,
start.
we'll, I guess, go. Me and Philip go out together, same way we came back in, and go to the shed.
Was there only the front door in the cabin?
Yeah,
Or did it
yeah,
have the rear?
just the front. That's not a big deal. I mean, you can go around the cabin.
Well, I was just gonna say, do we all go, or do we?
I think we should all stick together. I don't like the Scooby Doo style, so we can. I just meant you and me go first, or maybe you can bring up the rear, and I'll
Yeah.
go. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's you got the vision there. You take the lead, and I'll stay. I'll kind of run rear guard on the way over here. Keep our eyes peeled. I'm still terribly uncomfortable with those people giving us a call about the happy car wash or some shit. So,
Hey, at least it's raining. You won't need your car washed anymore. Look on the bright side.
you're not wrong. I just hope they didn't follow us out here. So we definitely need to keep our eyes peeled.
Remy, David, what do you think about this plan?
He's getting wet again.
I think it's the only. I think this is really our only option.
I mean,
Uh,
chime in if you got any ideas, but I'm running out.
I guess in that case, I go ahead and open the front door. Just kind of lead us out. I've got my fancy smancy military grade goggles on, and
Yeah.
we were being kind of careful on the way in, and just out of an abundance of caution, I'll say I'm being as careful on the way out, even though we already went back there.
Sure.
We're still being careful because we've been in the cabin for half an hour, a little bit of time.
As he, as he leaves, I'm gonna make it a point to watch towards where the trail came up.
Sure.
Before I follow the group.
Yeah. So you take a look down I guess you call it a driveway, some semblance of it. Looking down there, you just lose sight of it in the darkness. I don't see anything standing out. Go around the corner. Are you guys headed to the outhouse, the shed, or the septic tank?
The shed. Check
Okay.
for gas first.
I'm shining the light at my feet, not at towards back of his head, because I don't want to blind him.
Yeah. Okay. So all four of you walk up to the shed. Just got one of the simple latches on it. Put it open. Pull it. Inside are 21-gallon containers of what look to be like petrol or gasoline. Just stacked up in the shed. That's the only thing in there. Dusty. Real old. Like it's been waiting.
Dusty, what?
Dusty.
At least he made it easy for us. He parceled it out nice and neat. Wouldn't want us to have to lug 10 gallons at a time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in here?
There's nothing
Except
else
for the
in there.
gas may have destabilized some.
Yeah, do we... this might be your
I-
area of expertise. You think this shit's good?
Depends on how long it's been in here. Just still burn.
Give it the old sniff test.
I'm looking for your sheet here. Yeah. Do you sniff it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smells very volatile still. Little
So good.
little off, but like you said, it'll light.
All right. Anybody got? Is there a lighting implement? Anybody got a Zippo?
You know, I was. Oh, you got one, Remy?
I think so. Let me check my bag. Yeah, I got one.
I'm
So
sure you have
can,
flares in the car.
Well, yeah, but I didn't.
It's better than somebody wasting their Zippo for it.
Well, mine's not a Zippo.
Why is that sad? I don't know.
If we make it back to a gas station, I'll buy you a Zippo. I don't want you to live that big life.
Okay,
It's got a picture of a pizza space cat on it.
there you go. Yeah.
Don't ruin
Hey,
that light.
I have a question. It's kind of out of character, but since we were wondering about how much to use, can I finagle demolitions into knowing how much gas to use to burn something?
Hell yeah, you can. I can't think of a better thing than blowing up shit. Use demolitions for.
This absolutely sounds like demolition. It's just the IED variety.
Yeah.
So I guess while he's sniffing the gas and Remy's playing with her off-brand Bic Pizza Cat lighter, I'm sitting there looking like I'm trying to do like calculus 4 in my head, trying to figure out how much gas we need, like beads of sweat standing out on my head.
The all the calculations going around your head.
Yeah.
So what's your goal? You know what I mean? Like, are you wanting an
I-
explosion? Are you wanting to just burn whatever's in there? Like, what's your goal?
My goal is to liquefy. I don't really want an explosion because I don't know that we have a way to safely ignite it from a long distance other than shooting at it until it sparks. And I don't really want to do that. We don't have to. So, burning extremely hot.
Is there anything else in here?
I was gonna say there's no flares, there's no Swedish fire steel or
No, there's
fuses.
nothing. There's nothing else in there. I was just holding his gas.
Anybody have a water bottle?
No, we got snacks though. So we have maybe a Coke bottle in the car. We got snacks at one of the gas stations.
Yeah. So with your demolitions, you're not necessarily concerned about getting it done. You've got enough gas to get it done. You don't know what's inside of the tank, so you don't know how much is going to be required to ignite because you don't know what kind of material it is.
Right.
But something that you're immediately concerned with is I don't know if it would be called a backdraft in this scenario, but that fire gout that would happen through the hatch. However you light it, with that much gas is going to be required. You probably, I don't know how much you're going to use, but at a certain amount, you probably would be worried about the backdraft coming out. While probably not deadly, might be a little harmful.
So, I guess, do you want to? I mean, my goal in my calculations, like you said, I want to try and burn it. Obviously, I'm not saying that I would be able to magically guess with 100% accuracy, but get close and use whatever experience I have to try and burn it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is the goal to know how much gas you should use?
I guess my goal is how much gas to use to what I think would be effectively burning it while minimizing the risk of an explosion, given all the unknowns, because we don't know what's in it.
You don't know what's in there.
We're not sure.
Do we want to go look?
I was telling y'all we should look before, and I just got a bunch of.
Yeah, so looking at it from here, it's a pretty large septic tank. You feel that 5 gallons poured into the bottom of that's probably not going to hurt anybody, as far as like lighting it from the outside. But to get the job done, you're probably going to want to at least double that.
So, what sort of, like, you said that part of it was exposed.
Yeah, you go look at it.
What all is exposed? Because if I recall correctly, like, it's a septic tank, so there's usually, like, multiple areas where, like, a fill line can come in, right?
So that is not all exposed. The only thing that is exposed is the top, maybe like yay high,
like a hatch or something, right?
Maybe like yay high of concrete, and at the top there looks to be like a metal, not necessarily like a grate, but yeah, a hatch, like you said. Looks like it's fitted from like a metal fitter band that comes around and sets down into it.
And that's the only opening that's exposed? You
would have to get closer to make sure.
Okay. I was thinking we look close. Okay. Well, let's where I don't recall in relation where the shed, the tank, and the outhouse.
Just think of it like 30 feet behind the house on the right side of the back of the house for the septic tank. The rest is just on the left.
So,
but they're pretty close to each other. Like I've kind of envisioned the outhouse being like 10 feet, 15 feet from the tank, like pretty close.
Yeah, they're all close. Yep.
Okay.
Tell me your goal for these things, and I can help you come to a conclusion better.
No, I'm just trying to get a better feel for the layout of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all fairly close. It's not like spread out and stuck in the woods or anything like that.
Okay.
Why don't you go closer and take a look? I'm gonna kind of pull out. I'm done with my calculus. I'm gonna pull out a couple of cans and kind of get them ready. Why don't you go see what you can find?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go just take a look at the outhouse first and make sure there's nothing surprising.
Yeah, you go take a look at the outhouse, and it looks just to be like plain outhouse. Nothing special in there. Yeah, it doesn't really smell like poop.
Well, that's good. And is there like there's not like a torch or a lantern or something in here?
Mm-mm.
Or it was all
electric. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that include the outhouse?
It does not.
Okay.
It's a shit shed.
I'm recently familiar with a literal shithead.
Oh no.
It's Savage Gulf.
Oh.
Yeah, there is a possibility that we could make like a makeshift, some kind of fuse with some twine, but the trick would be keeping it dry.
Yeah, I was gonna like that.
Pouring down rain.
That path earlier, thinking like I've probably got some rope in a kit over here, of some variety. But would it continue burning? Would it,
I mean, at that point, do you have road flares?
Well, he mentioned the road flare
know.
aspect, and I, if we don't have a better option, then lighting a road flare and chucking it in may be our best bet. But I'm hoping that there's a better option.
I mean, if we soak some twine in some gasoline. Wait, hold on.
Water bottle, like a gas Molotov.
Yeah, but How far away are you going to throw it? Are you a basketball star in addition to a scientist? You just keep surprising me.
Hey,
What's the is there a word for it in universe other than a survival kit, like a thing that has? Never mind. I wouldn't have. Sorry, I was looking through that toolkit thing because you said I would have some of it, but I don't see anything that matches what I'm thinking about.
You got road flares.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Remy keeps saying it. You've got road flares.
Well, you know,
they work great.
David said it first.
I was just
I'm just trying to.
asking if you had them.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically though, we could underhand lob one of those. I'm not. You wouldn't have to be Michael Jordan to make a 5-6 foot shot underhand with a road player because the opening of this thing's what, a foot across, 2 feet across.
Yeah.
It's not like a small opening.
Mm-mm.
Hey,
So-
hey, demolition derby guy.
Yeah.
You know, if we did light a road flare in a bottle, would you think that'd give us enough time to, you know, drop it and get the hell out?
So you want it to burn through the bottle before it ignites the gas? Is that the goal?
Yeah, as a delay.
Yeah, but it's going to give you like a second or 2 seconds. I mean, we've got like Coke bottles. Road flares are going to burn hot enough to melt through plastic super quick.
Or run out of oxygen.
I don't see a point though.
In
I think
I think just chucking it in would be probably the best bet.
How long are
Yeah.
those road flares? I mean, those road flares usually burn for a while, right?
A good
Yeah,
20
few
minutes.
minutes at the
Minute
very
at a
least.
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Long enough that if we miss, we could try again.
Yeah,
Yes,
and the rain's not going to affect it at all. So I mean,
Mm-mm.
we get a few tries at it.
Your
Yeah.
pride would be hurt though.
Well, I mean, that's one variety of damage that is, you know, surmountable and more easily.
And yes, I would make fun of you.
So
Third degree.
I'm kind of liking Remy's idea. We just need to figure out who's the best bowler or underhand softball player between us, and just that person gets to
You all have
take first crack at it.
You all have the same athletic score according to my sheets, and that is what this falls.
Oh,
under.
we are really athletic.
Everyone has a 30 that I see.
I have a 70.
Okay, so I knew something was up there. 'Cause that makes more sense. Yeah, there we go.
So, question.
Go ahead.
Well, this yeah. We're talking about putting gasoline in a 2-foot wide hole. How do you plan on doing that without actually looking in it? To see what's down
Well,
there?
I'm going to cover my eyes with my hand, and you're going to guide me to the hole, and I'm going to just...
It's
I mean, my wife does this every other week for me. I figured, you could do it just this one time.
Out of the start.
and I'm also, I don't know how tall this thing is, but you know, it may not even, you may have to go out of your way to look into it. I don't,
Okay.
depending on the.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. It's
The
the
layout.
situation that it's
I'm
in.
not telling anybody they can't look. I'm just saying I'm not, you know, I'm not jumping up there to stick my head in.
So I like the road flare. I like the road flare plan. I'm gonna
I think
kind of.
given our circumstances, the road flare's our best bet.
Agreed.
All right, who wants to go get it? I've got the gas ready. I can start pouring it in.
Well, if it's in your car,
It's in my car, so I guess
know where it is.
if we're splitting up, let's do it in pairs. Who's coming with me?
I'll go with you.
Actually, I grabbed my bag. Guess it would probably be in like a car kit, not my bag. So we'll go back to the trunk.
So you and Remy go back.
Yeah, I'll go back.
All right. We'll slowly, cautiously, quietly.
Yeah. And meanwhile, me and David are pouring in. Let's say 6 gallons. Go a little bit over what my calculus told me. We're pouring in 6 gallons of gas into the septic tank.
Well, he said
Yeah.
at least double 5, right?
Yeah. Also, you can't skip ahead like that. No one's even gone up to the septic tank yet.
Oh, that's true. Well, then in that case, I have one hand of one gas can in one hand, my other hand on my rifle slung at my side, and I just duck walk up to the septic tank,
Sure.
getting ready to
I've
start
got it.
pouring stuff into it.
I've got 2 gallons, one in each hand.
Yeah, so the first thing you notice when you go up to the septic tank is it's about waist high, but it's large, at least 6 feet wide, and maybe like 15 feet the other direction. the metal hatch on top, normally just you can open it right up, but it looks like someone has welded a eyelet on it and put a padlock.
So we find this at this point. I guess Philip is like halfway to his car, so I kind of yell at him. He's still in yelling distance.
We've got the radios with the throw mics.
Oh, we do have those. Well, then I pretend like I'm a secret agent to impress David, who's next to me, and I click on the throat mic, and I'm like, hey, so you still have that lock picking kit, and tell me why I can't shoot off this lock I just found.
Yes, and I mean, why waste the bullet?
Fine, just hurry up, get back here. There's a lock on the hatch for the septic tank.
We didn't find a key in the
Shoot
foot
it.
locker, right?
Nope.
Shoot it.
When you say padlock, it's a key to padlock?
Yes. Key.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks to the devil on my shoulder, I get tired of waiting for Philip and Remy to come back, and I shoot the padlock with my pistol.
Okay. So you shoot the padlock. You hear, "Cow, ching." You look down. You're like,
His rifle is silenced.
No, I said I used
not.
my pistol.
Also, not hitting a padlock is silent. But anyway, so he hits the padlock. Seems to do the trick, and falls down to the ground right there in front of you, looking at the hatch. You hear, well, Remy, you and Philip, I guess, have now opened the trunk. Probably grabbed what you need. Do you still grab your lockpicking kit after you hear the gunshots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I radio
I
into
already
him.
had that,
I
but
say,
I
hey,
Locker, didn't I?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I took care of the lock, Philip.
Well,
Yeah.
I was hoping that's all you were having to take care of without assistance. So
You grab your road flares at the car, and while you two are grabbing them and walking back, Nolan and David, you hear from within the septic tank. Who's out there?
Did you fucking hear that? Is that
for
Yeah.
the record, I do lock the car up and get it.
What?
I kind of take a step back and hit my throat mic. I'd say, hey, Ed, can you hurry back? We've got a ghost girl in the septic tank.
Oh, god damn it.
You say that on your throat mic, and you hear from the septic tank, "I'm not a ghost.
Shut up, ghost girl.
Let me out."
Yeah, I kind of look across at David and I wait for Philip and Remy to get back. I don't make a move to open the hatch. Is it like those like sub doors, or is it just a pull handle, or is there some kind of like pneumatic release in addition to the padlock?
No, it's not that fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the eyelet just has a pull, and how wide is the eyelet? Because you said it was welded shut and an eyelet was added. That's
It was
what
like
padlock.
tight, like it was perfect fitting for the lock to go through, and so you couldn't pull it up where there's no clearance. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Okay.
But you could grab
I
it
think
and
so.
pull it open, but not with a lock on it. There's like no clearance.
So,
Okay.
Let me know whenever we get back.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I would
I
say
didn't know how much time you
you'd be
wanted,
back
like,
by now.
Just them or whatever.
So as you guys are walking up, I would assume you join them at the septic tank. You hear, "I yearn for the air and light. How did you get past my husband?"
You know what? You're right. We shouldn't have looked. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have used my pistol. We shouldn't have looked. Let's just pour the gasoline in. Let's kill the ghost girl.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the tacticalness of the throat mics is that you can basically talk and be as silent or more so than a whisper, right?
I know nothing about them.
Oh, I was talking. I thought you were back at the septic tank with me.
No,
Now
I
I
know.
was talking to you face to
I'm
face.
just clarifying. I think that's how throat mics work. It's the vibrations of like the muscle or the bone.
Just
I'd buy
keep-
that for $1.
Why
Just
it is here.
Ventriloquist everything. Hello.
Well, my goal is that he and I could converse without.
There is very archaic technology where you could whisper in his ear.
I mean, I could, but I also have really cool technology.
Can we report this now? This is fucked up. Can we report this now? This is kind of fucked up.
You don't want to report back until you're done. I'm telling you, we don't want to report.
There's a dead lady in there that's talking to us.
Well, she's evidently not dead, Mr. Scientist Person. Unless you're agreeing with me and she's a ghost girl.
I'm not dead.
What someone who is dead would say.
My husband was a sick man.
How have you been surviving in a septic tank with no food, no water?
I don't know. He was... And her voice kind of trails off.
I just kind of just look around. Like I think my experience says burn it. Don't listen to it.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I don't think I want to know.
Secrets. Secrets. He was always searching for secrets. She's talking really low. Someone would have to get closer to really hear what she's saying if they're interested. Like put your ear against it or something.
I stay where I stay firm planted where I am.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
So
What is your name?
You say, what is your name?
Yes.
It's me, Marlene.
Fuck.
As you lean closer to say that. Question mark?
Huh?
No, I was
No.
He goes, hell no.
How long has he been dead?
Few
18
days.
years?
He's been dead for a
Oh,
few days.
He has been dead a few days.
Clyde Bowman's been dead a few days. That's why we're cleaning up.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the voice gets louder as it sounds like she's pressed her face right against the metal, looking up at you guys. Not trying it, and who knows how long that she's been in there, and she's probably tried 1,000 things to get out. Wouldn't think to push it now. You hear much louder now. He did something strange to me. Some kind of awful pagan prayer. He wanted to make me his slave forever. But it didn't work. No, it didn't work at all. It did not work the way he thought. So he locked me in here.
I think we'd be doing her a favor if we just pretend we're not hearing this and burn it.
Yeah.
So as a timeout to clarify with the handler, is there any way to put this shit in there that doesn't involve opening that hatch?
Not unless I guess you could dig and hope that there are those outlets, like you said, but it's already been modified that you've seen with welding, so you don't know what the rest...
There's no like little hole on top or anything.
And you said it was encased in concrete, didn't you?
Yes.
How tall is the septic tank? You said it's 6 feet wide.
It's about waist high, 2.5 feet out of the ground.
So, how How tall would one be? I don't know.
Around 6 feet,
So there's like 3 foot underground and 3 foot above.
at
3
least.
foot underground, 2
Yeah.
feet above.
For a normal septic tank, at least, yeah.
So she could theoretically be standing without issue.
Yeah.
And
If
potentially get out if we open.
right.
I'm telling you. The corner comes out. But
Well-
there's only 2 feet, so.
They're
I think since we're timed out, out of character, I think I misunderstood the construction of this. I thought there was a hole. What I blew the lock off of, just being stupid Rambo, was a lock that was preventing like an eyelet hole for a nozzle to fit into. I thought the main hatch was welded shut completely.
Yeah, so like the main hatch and then the eyelets on it connecting the main septic tank, the iron ring of the septic tank to the hatch to keep it together so the padlock goes through in order so you can't lift it up.
This is fucking English language. Just fucked me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no gozy backsies now.
Nope.
so she was asking if they're, she was saying, why can't we just put the containers on there and blow it up? But
There's not enough exposed.
well, it's encased in concrete.
Yeah.
It's metal.
Yeah.
Like, this is, if we did that, it would be a fireball.
Massive, yeah.
And then I don't, it might just let her out,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna burn it,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, do I have a grenade? Hold on. Do I have a grenade? I should.
think so.
No, I don't think I have one on.
Grenades were a Spec Ops character option. I don't know if you explicitly have them.
I don't think you put one on. You
Nope,
wouldn't
I don't
carry a
have one.
grenade to a cabin anyways.
Yeah, I was gonna say there'd be no reason for my character to be like, I'm just gonna put some flashbangs, fucking
Yeah, I mean,
frag
unless it was
grenades.
a
It's fine.
bag, because like those were part of your. It's part
Oh.
of the on your agent if your specced out kit is grenades. But again, would you bring it to the office? Did you have it?
I'll be right back while you guys talk. 1 second.
Um,
I'm trying to decide if I could know how much a 7.62 would penetrate. I think I would have that pretty much memorized, but there'd be no way to know how thick it is. It'll go through several inches of steel reinforced concrete if you have the barrel like extremely close. It'll go through several inches without a problem. But I don't really know what that would accomplish. I mean, I could dump a mag into it and maybe it goes through and hits something, or it just
So-
ricochets and blows someone's knee off.
well, so maybe you could potentially do that to get us a hole.
Yeah. So
Right? So you could shoot away from where she seems to be, and theoretically we might have a pinhole that we could attempt to use to fill. Or
Would
you
there
could-
would there be any way that we could gauge approximately how thick this is by pretending we're old timey folks and knocking on it?
was
I mean, I'm being
so,
stupid.
no,
but did we
yes.
guess?
The answer is always yes. You can try.
is
So
any of the septic tank that is not concrete encased exposed?
am I the only one that has played in septic tanks when they were a little kid?
Yep.
Never.
Oh my god. There's no metal to a septic tank. It is entirely concrete. Because the reason
Metal encased. Okay.
no, so the reasoning is because all the shit and stuff has to leak out over time. And it does slowly through the concrete leak out into your yard and all that shit. Or otherwise
I
it
think that's-
overfills.
I think that would be something we should try then. I mean, we have cover around us. I mean, shooting something that's stationary for me, even trying to take an aimed shot, that's like child's play. I could do it
Yeah.
with one hand with my eyes closed.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you could definitely then, create an opening.
They
the
are
question-
about 3 inches thick. Maybe a little more.
so
I point to the lid and motion like it could open, and do my shoulders like I don't know.
Do what?
So I mean, do we want to open it though? Because what she can, that thing might try and rush at us. So we don't really know what we're dealing with here. I mean, it sounds human, but
Is the lock still on the hinge to keep it from opening?
I said it fell off.
Yeah.
I blew the lock all to shit. There's no
Yeah.
way that lock's still in one piece.
So, as soon as we get to this point, I'm gonna take out a, one of my like heavy duty zip tie cuffs
Cool.
and re-lock this. That's the first thing that I would be doing at the point that we're starting to get creative. I would
Just
go
so
ahead
you fill that in your plans.
and relock it.
So what we were so that was to keep the hatch from opening. We were talking about me taking a shot to see at the side somewhere just to see if I could enter a hole. I'm gonna go just because of my background and the stats I have. What I do, I guess I'm gonna say this. I'm assuming this should be just a cakewalk for me. Like this is like tying my shoe.
Just
'Cause
shoot
I'm
a hole in a
when I'm-
wall?
Yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
an angled hole, like to try and like not just I'm not sticking the barrel of my rifle against the side of the tank and just pulling the trigger, but tell everyone to get back and just try and take an oblique shot, a couple if I have to, really measured and controlled shots to try and make an opening like at the top diagonal of a piece of concrete.
So
It's not going to be perfect.
the
but-
this part, the top or the side?
Yeah. So it's right angled, right, where everything meets.
Yeah. Yep.
So I guess like the top of the side.
Okay.
So,
So,
like
you want to do it right where it meets?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as
Alright.
you pull your rifle up, I'll wave you down. I'll grab that tie and try to do that right quick.
Alright.
Just to
Sure.
make sure that it's officially done. I don't know if Zach wants me to roll or.
No, I don't want you to roll. Yeah, so you go down there, and you kind of put your hand on top of the lid to get a thing, and you're putting the zip tie through, and you're about to zip tie it up, and you feel the lid just it doesn't lift, but you can feel the resistance against your hand as you zip the rest taut, and she's like, let me out.
Yes, just a moment.
Yeah, we're working on trying to get you out. We just bear with us. So I guess that he's got the zip tied. I motioned to the three of them, kind of take a step back, and I don't know. The sheds, we're all at the shed, we'll say, so 10 feet away from it, and I just calmly raise my rifle, take a shot at the oblique area.
Okay, so you're gonna start drilling a hole.
I say I'm gonna take one shot just to see what, like as a test, to see how much damage it does and see if it's feasible. Because I guess I wouldn't technically know how thick everything is, so just
Yeah.
to see what one round does.
But you said 7.62, like factually, IRL 7.62 should go.
It goes through at 80 feet or less. It goes through several inches of concrete without a problem.
Then it definitely should. This is real life.
Well, that's what I was getting at. is
Yeah.
Unless there's something special about the way it's reinforced.
Does it leave like a I don't know, like a
So-
smaller than a quarter size hole, maybe like a nickel size hole?
Yeah, a nickel size hole would be that's what it would leave in, like something that looks kind of humanish or steeled. I would imagine that concrete's going to crumble some, so I don't know what this hole exactly would look like. But in something that doesn't like crumble apart, yeah, like a nickel.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I'm pretty sure, at least.
Okay. So you take this shot at the corner and pow or whatever, and you see the corner fly off, and in there is a little hole. It's dark inside, but you did take off some, and you hear through the hole, "You breaking me out?"
Yeah. Just pretend like you're Harry Houdini.
And what did Philip say?
I said it's just it's going to take us a little bit of time. It seems everything seems to be stuck. Okay, it's going to take some time. We might have to lubricate it here. Okay. And I look over at everybody and just kind of shrug.
So-
um, okay. I'm not gonna make you roll. Okay.
Let me know. I'll roll whatever.
Nope.
So we've shot one. I kind of walk up just to take a glance at it and look at it. I see how big it is. And I think, if I'm understanding what you said, it should be big enough with splashing and spillage to allow at least gasoline to go in. It's
Yeah.
not like a perfect fit. The nozzle's not going to seal, but gas can get in there.
Definitely, with spillage, you'd be able to get it in. When you go up to it, you see a finger just kind of like come out and just like go back in.
What did it look like?
The good news is, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming I have my goggles on, so I can't see definition. Well,
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming I could tell if it looked like,
Color
you know,
would be fucked
fucking
up.
Frankenstein.
You should be able to see definition really well, right?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as it happens to see if can I tell if it's actually human or does it look like Frankenstein?
You have your what kind night vision goggles on?
Yes.
Yeah. So it comes out. It looks just like a finger. It comes right
Okay.
out. I guess it probably wouldn't be much though. You'd only get about the first digit out due to the thickness. And then pull it back in, and you
So
hear.
I kind of. Oh, go ahead.
You hear, it's fresh air. Oh, it's fresh air. Thank you.
So after I saw that, because I mean, I kind of just let them know. I was like, well, that was a finger, guys. Got it,
She
we
gave
got a
me the
little-
finger.
Probably did.
What?
She gave him
Said
the
she-
finger.
I'm sorry, Jason. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
But she gave him the finger.
Oh, yeah. Guess so.
Yes, it was the longest finger to make it through the hole, of course.
So, I mean, I kind of look. What do we want to do? So, I've got us a hole. We can get gas in there. It's gonna spill, but we can do this now. And the only you'd have to say goodbye to your trusty Bic lighter, and we'd have to hope that it, made it in there. If we want to try and use a flare, it's gonna need to be a little bit wider. I can take a couple more shots at it if you want, but we need to keep in mind that there's no guarantee that if I put a couple rounds in it, a bigger chunk could fall off. I mean, I can't sawzall this thing.
Yeah, I think we avoid that for sure.
Yeah.
Unless we have to do something else.
I mean, gas is gas, right? So it's going to follow the trail of gas. So if we have spillage, I mean, we should be able, the rain's hopefully not going to wash it away. We should be able to light, whatever, throw something still at it, and it would show them, like go into the hole. Just
So I think
theoretically.
the
Yeah.
So the problem's going to be, I really don't factually IRL. Chad doesn't really know what happens if you've got rain and gasoline.
Yeah, that I don't.
I don't know exactly how that's going to interact. I mean, yes.
Well, we have the
normally-
twine or rope. We could soak some and use it, kind of like Amy's. Instead of using a trail, like Remy's saying, soak some. And I mean,
That's what I
we'd
would-
probably have to. We'd have to cut away some of the rope because if it's I don't even know if this hole's big enough for a standard rope, but we could cut away some, soak it, and give us like a couple of feet worth of a fuse, quote unquote, and just. I mean, we're going to have to use your flare still because there's no way a big lighter from 7-Eleven is hot enough to light that rope.
Yeah.
Not in the rain, at least.
Yeah. So, I
The issue right now also is this is still quite a bit of a pressure pot.
what?
This container is still a pressure pot. Even with a small hole in it, it's still going to make quite a bit of pressure when we light this.
Better hope that I did my 4D calculus right, that we're not putting too much gasoline in.
Yeah, so Nolan, you're not worried. You can tell him that you're not worried about it exploding on you. But there's a very high chance that any amount of gasoline you're going to put in here and light is going to blow that lid off at this point. Unless it's a non-functional amount of gasoline.
We could put the zip tie and not put it on as tight, so it actually has a pressure release.
Event.
I mean, if we're talking
So-
about vents, I could put a few more holes in the
I was
vent.
going to say. So, but before, as we get to this point, I'm going to kind of pull everybody back a little bit. And, okay. She thinks right now that we're trying to help her. The moment we start trying to pour gasoline in there, unless her nose doesn't work, the jig's up. So we need to know how we're going to do this, and we need to be prepared. Hopefully, she's just a creepy zombie lady, but if she's something more, we need to be ready to go. So, if we're worried about pressure, if we make extra holes, we could have at least 2 people pouring gas at once. The question's just going to become, how much do we have to get in there before we have to go?
So I guess
How much of
mean,
this gas do you think we got to get in there?
I don't know. I kind of think again, and let's say 7 gallons. I'll cut the difference from what I was thinking, and I think we need about 7. You know, I haven't done this for fun in quite a while, but let's start there. The thing, so but because it's gonna spill, right? So we brought out 10-gallon tanks. I don't know. That this 3 gallons of spillage surely will be.
You think then?
Well, I think we try and. Yeah, I guess I just, you know, it would probably be better if, you know, maybe Remy and David, you guys start pouring. What me and Philip will work on this fuse, and when we get ready to light it, I think we need to cover the lid just in case it comes out and we have this, you know, zombie woman or just someone really pissed off at us come out. You know, we're gonna have the best shot of taking her out, or trying to, if she comes out. So when it gets down to lighting, it needs to be Remy or David that actually does the lighting, and we'll be ready for it. I mean, we make a couple of more holes vent for, you know, David. You brought up the point about it exploding. We'll try and vent it. We can loosen the zip tie a little bit. We'll go through 10 gallons of gas and hope, even though we're going to spill some, we'll go through 10 tanks of gas. We'll hope that gets around 7 in there. We can at least make this like fuse, this poor man's fuse, and soak it enough that as long as we're quick, the rain shouldn't wash away enough that it doesn't work.
So, Zach, just for the sake of making a ruling, I know what a road flare is. How big is my road flare versus this hole?
You could put it in. Especially with multiple shots, you'd probably be able to get it in. Like it's the one shot.
Shots,
Normally
so
they're like a pool stick, like you throw and dive, like a dive stick. They're about that size.
Okay.
So if he does multiple shots, you shouldn't be able to make a hole big enough to kind of jam that sucker in there.
Well, we were trying to avoid multiple shots because we didn't want to call. We didn't want to shoot 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, multiple shots in the same place. We're okay with doing multiple shots in different places. But like you're.
We this trying to avoid getting into multiple. So I didn't know if we could fit it in a nickel hole.
No, it'd be like the hole would be about half, if not a little bit less, the diameter of what your road flares would normally be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more like a quarter.
Yes. Yeah.
Versus
little thicker.
So, is it tapered at all?
No, they're normally just straight, and they have a cap on them, and you just yank that cap off that's a little bit bigger, and it just whoosh, ignites that flare, and that's it, and you just chuck that sucker. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, you just pull the cap off.
I mean, I guess the more I'm thinking about this, even in character, the more I'm thinking about this, if we take a couple more shots at that place, and I can hit the same spot, again, this is child's play, what I'm good at, I can hit that spot again, the whole septic tank's not going to fall apart. And realistically, unless this thing is, which I guess it could be, but unless this thing is rotted through somehow, a chunk shouldn't fall off big enough to allow something vaguely human-sized to run at us. I mean, at worst, it's going to be a baseball-sized hole, maybe. So she gets a fist out. I mean, I can't. In my mind, I can't see it.
With it, that would probably be enough, right?
Did another?
If if he did 2 shots,
I'd say if he did 2 shots and I make him roll for exactly hitting the right spot and I'm making a triangle, yeah.
All right, let's do that. So Yep.
Oh, okay, I just want to ask everybody. So at this point, no one believes it's an actual woman that needs help in there. Because I'm just asking this because the only person that has actual evidence of anything unnatural is Nolan.
I for sure don't think it's a woman. 0% chance.
My logical brain here is we're dealing with a deceased woman. Like,
Because you figure she's been in there too long.
Do what?
And you figure she's just been in there so long, like your logical brain, like there's no way she could still be alive, right? Because, because he only died a few days, I guess technically.
We know that his wife died 18 years ago. Like, the records show that his wife died 18 years ago.
But how'd she die?
You know, she could be lying about her name. She could she could be using the name. We don't know it's his wife for sure. We wouldn't know yet.
She referenced her husband being him.
Has he said she hasn't said his name yet though, right?
Really?
She hasn't given. Oh, okay.
So, like, she said it's her name. She said it's her husband. She said he's weird and doing weird things. Like, to me, that lines up with the sort of shit they want us to cover up.
Do we know how she died?
Yes, it was reported that it was of cancer.
Yeah. I was say it was.
Right,
we saw it somewhere.
So if she had said that he wanted her to, she's Frankenstein. She's Frankenstein's monster, like legit.
That's. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, and also because my character's been open as well as far as convincing them it's not human. I've been not like story time with everyone. Let me tell you about my past exploits, but I've been pretty open about doing stuff. And at this point, they're at least going to trust me to the point that, they trust me somewhat because I haven't killed anyone yet. I'm not blown their brains out. So they're going to at least take my word on some of it.
So, okay, and David, how do you feel about this?
I'm a little torn. I don't trust that it's not a person.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to make sure I got everybody's opinion.
Chime in.
Yeah.
By all means.
But with the weirdness that we've seen so far, I don't know.
For the record.
Yeah.
Like, that's how my brain is like.
Yeah. So what is David thinking right now? He's like, we're gonna burn this lady in here. Is that what you're thinking, or are you thinking? What's the other scenario?
I don't know what's in there completely. I don't know if it's a person or not. That's my issue. I don't know.
What would if you had to assign it a percentage? Like, would you be willing to trust that if I just went ahead and did it and didn't ask for your permission, would you think I'm actually killing someone? Or are you like 80% sure it's a human? Are you literally because you're not going to be split 50-50. There's no way. No one's ever 50-50 on anything. So do you more think it's a human, or do you and I'm about to commit fucking first degree murder, or are you like siding with what we've seen, what I've told you?
With her talking about the fresh air and it being sealed tight, I'm more leaning that it's not a woman. That's mine. And plus all the magnetic shit.
Okay. So everybody believes it's something unnatural. Everyone roll me a sanity check.
That's the
Oh god.
yeah. 29 under 50.
Nice.
9 under 60.
34 under 70.
Zach,
Okay.
remind me the crit. I don't know. I don't.
It's the same digits, so like a 22 or a 11.
Yeah, so it's not on the tens. It's the double digit.
It's the double
of the
digits. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Nice. 34 under. it's against the current
Sand.
point, right?
Yes. Yours.
Score under 85.
Awesome. And I don't think I heard David.
Mine was 9 under 60.
9 or 6, so everybody passes. Excellent. Let me double check. Yeah, so everyone takes 0 points of sanity damage. But that just means that everyone not really sure what's going on here. It's definitely not something you've encountered before. As Nolan raises his weapon to make another shot. Roll me a firearms as you're aiming for the second shot. Actually, just roll me 1 firearms. If you miss, we'll roll another one for the third shot. But otherwise, we'll say you got both.
68 under 70.
Woohoo! Just barely. Yeah, so another shot goes off, and then another one in fast succession after that, making a small little spheroid triangle hole in there. And you hear... You actually see an eye, like, come up to the hole. Just barely able to make it out. I guess you, with your night vision, it's just a green blob. But, and you hear, it's going to take a long time to get me out like that. Just open the hatch.
Yeah, no, see, you probably heard me, like, blow a lock off, but it's super tight. We're all just babies up here, so, we can't open the hatch. Sorry.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck me.
Persuasion?
Oh, this
Persuade.
is gonna end badly.
He's got a 20.
It's gonna end really 75 over 20.
No!
And you hear, I heard you shoot it off. And you hear the top of the, like the fucking, I've lost the word for it, hatch.
The hatch?
Yeah, the hatch. And you can see it kind of like, as she's like banging into it.
Why didn't you shoot when you saw an eye?
I don't know.
No, that would have been worse.
Yeah. So, if I'm now watching this,
You were hearing it and watching it.
well, what I'm saying is, if I'm watching this, how confident am I in the hole there? Like, is she just doing this, or is she like fucking slamming it and it's stressing the zip tie? Like, what's going on with that hatch?
Yeah, roll me an alertness. As your heart starts to beat faster and faster.
$18 under 50.
You're pretty sure she's gonna pop it off any second.
I quietly tell him that's not going to hold. How far away are we from it?
You're gathered around it.
Is there anything heavy that we could put on there?
Yourself.
Is the metal deforming, or is it just it's impacting this?
The zip tie is gonna give. For sure.
And to be clear, like, these are the super duper ones for handcuffs.
For sure.
Okay.
In fact, you're looking at it, you're seeing the amount of force that's going into this, and you get the feeling that she's holding back. She could have busted out at any time.
I guess, seeing no better option, I'm gonna like sit on it.
So you're gonna sit down on it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Are you?
It's not messing with the metal. Right?
No. Like, it's not warping the metal or anything. But so you're gonna sit down on top of the hatch. Are you gonna hold on to anything to kind of like brace yourself there? I guess what you could do is You could use a couple fingers and stick it in that eyelet to try to hold yourself in place. Oh, you're just gonna sit on it. So you run up there. So you run up there and.
I'm not sticking my hand in that hole.
Yeah.
No way.
No. So the eyelet is outside. I think of it as like a metal piece that kind of comes up and goes like that to hold the lock in place.
Oh, you're talking about the. Okay, I thought you were talking about the hole he shot into it.
No.
Yeah, I'll hold on to that.
Okay. So you and everyone else watching this, I don't know what you say, Philip, as you run up there.
Fuck.
And sit down or lay down, sit down.
I guess sitting would theoretically be the best weight distribution.
Yeah. So you go up there, sit down, and as you sit down,
I guess I like perch because that would keep my legs and my torso like.
To where, yeah, I got you. And if it bursted up or something, you'd go flying in a vertical position.
To do something.
Yeah.
And theoretically, it'd put all my body weight.
Okay. So you get up there, and as soon as you get up there and like put your weight on it, you feel the metal come up to meet the bottom of your feet as the tie breaks, and your weight cinches it back down. You take your fingers and you stick it through the eyelet to make sure that you can hold your weight down and pull down on top of this. Make me a athletics check.
That's probably not a good idea. Unless you want to lose the fingers.
Huh?
I tell him that's probably not a good idea unless he wants to lose the fingers.
You yell it out. I'm rolling opposed athletics with you. What?
It doesn't matter.
I got a 72 under something.
It doesn't matter.
What did you roll?
60 something over 30.
As you jam your fingers in there, the metal lid shoots off and launches you off of the tank and onto the ground. A fiery pain goes through your fingers as you hear a and take 1 HP points of damage and hit the ground.
Tried to warn you.
So this has been happening over like what 5 seconds? How long a time? Has it been happening?
5 seconds max.
Okay, so at least I mean at this while this is happening, I mean I'm not just standing there slack jawed. Like I react to it.
I did say like she's gonna break. Like that's
He did.
not gonna hold.
He did say it, and he took action
As I was getting up.
as
Yeah,
a special
yes.
agent would.
So he does that to try and help us. I guess I yell at Remy and David to get down, but I my point was since I'm watching it happen, when he gets down and I see him get launched off, I'm already fully trained, like crouched, ready to go, fully trained on that hole or the hatch rather, just watching it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I mean, I'm not gonna get closer at this point. I guess I could try and ask him if he's okay, like try and talk to him over our throat mics, but I guess that's reasonable in 5 seconds. I yell at them to get down, and I just take a stance and I aim my gun at it. I'm just watching.
Okay, in that 5 seconds, Remy and Owen, or David, anything else?
I take a step back and pull the AR up.
Yeah, I'll definitely like step back, get down, and have my.
You've got my shotgun.
Yeah, that's right. I'll pull out a shotgun.
The big shotgun. Okay.
Big
And
Daddy.
which direction does he go in?
Which I have slugs and
To the left.
Away from us?
whatchamacallit,
You're all kind
and shot.
You would have probably loaded this with slugs for what we're doing. I
was
would
gonna
almost guarantee.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You're not going to carry a shot.
say the default.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So,
So just before we get there later, if it matters.
so here's how we're going to do this.
So, well, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I want to hear what you got to say.
I was
I'm
just
much
gonna
more
say,
interested
so,
in you
like,
guys.
As I've landed over there, do I, before anything else happens, am I able to like take stock of myself?
Yeah. What are you looking for? Like, what kind of damage?
Yeah, I mean, so like I took a hit point off. My fingers
Which hand?
hurt or whatever. Are they missing? Are they degloved? Are they...
Which hand did you jam in there?
I mean, I probably would have had like my gun in my other hand, so I would
Yep.
guess like my left hand, right?
Sure. Yeah, you're not degloved. It looks like the forefinger and the middle finger are broken.
Okay.
You've had broken fingers before. It fucking
Yeah,
hurts.
It hurts, but it's not the end.
It's not the end of the world, and you quickly come to terms with it as you probably figure this out as you're hitting the ground.
That's what I was
It's like,
curious,
fuck,
like-
I fucking broke my fingers.
I knew better.
The rest of you are watching this hole. Roll me an alertness check for everyone watching the hole.
Oh baby, it's my time to shine.
It is Nolan's time to shine.
13 under 80.
13 under 80, baby.
Oh God.
I can see the future. It's green.
9 over 20.
Okay. All right.
44 over 21.
Over. Okay.
So both of you guys failed.
Yep. What about you, Philip?
Oh, I didn't know if I got a roll. Okay.
Oh, that's a good point. No, you're right.
Okay.
You wouldn't. But Nolan is there for you guys. This is his duty. This is what he's good at. You see a form shoot out of the top. Are you going to make a shot at this point as you see this form shooting out, or are you waiting? Your alertness check, you had it trained on there, so I assume that was what you were wanting to do. So I wanted to make sure alertness was to time it perfectly and able to get a shot.
Ooh. See, I'm trying to decide at this point, like I guess out of character, like because I know he's done this before and he's got a lot of training, so he should be. I would like to think he would be able to make that choice, but I don't know if he's because all this shit's happening. I've got Frankenstein popping out of a hole. A dude I just met. I think he's degloved at this point. He's thrown 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I would. I mean,
And with
I would
that
probably.
alertness, like,
Yeah.
you know, you're really hyper aware of what's going on at this moment. I think if your character would make the shot, he's capable.
I agree.
So I guess can I tell if it's coming towards us? Did it go perfectly up in the air somehow and fly like a bird, or is it arcing away from us or towards us?
Okay, so you want to wait a little bit. This is what I'm hearing.
By
Milliseconds.
little bit, I mean yeah. I was gonna say
Yeah.
a very short amount of time.
So you see, what looks like a small, somewhat misshapen, nude woman, around her 50s. Her flesh is a gray-blue, or is that just the darkness and the rain? Not sure. Oh, also you have night vision goggles on, so you see a green.
Right.
You do see, do what? Or white, whichever your night vision is, yeah. You can tell that the hair looks patchy, torn out in some places. The rest of you don't notice, or you do see this form come out, but you don't notice the details yet. As she shoots out the top and lands before you guys, probably within 3 feet of all of you, if you guys are in a semicircle or whatever. As she hit, go ahead.
No, keep.
Okay.
Finish what you're saying.
I guess I wouldn't have noticed, but like
Now you
how
would.
high get out, like fly up, jump out, like
How high?
yeah.
Probably 2 feet over the edge, so a good 8-foot jump, vertical plus pushing the top off with him on it.
Yeah, okay.
She hits the ground, and the rest of you are tuned in at this point. Philip,
When did he
leaning.
get to take that shot?
He hasn't
I
yet.
did. I haven't taken a shot.
I'm letting him call it. Philip, you lean, still prone on the ground, looking this way, and the rest of you now are able to see where she's ripped out her hair, naked. Her hands are blood-stained, and the flesh is like stripped from her fingers where she had tried to claw out of this for so many years, just worn down to the bone. Her feet and legs are swollen from the obvious immersion in some amount of water. inside there. Yeah, she still lives. Yeah, here she is.
I guess at this point, since she lands, I yell. I yell like in a stern, like the drill sergeant voice,
Yeah.
like very stern, not frantic at all, and say that I make up a call sign because it doesn't matter. This woman doesn't know anything. I say we're DV365 or something. We're here to take care of her husband and to fix what he left behind. I don't know, some just generic speech. I guess not to lie to her. Like I'm telling her the truth, telling her why we're there, but I'm telling her that we weren't trying to hurt her, but I'm still like I'm fully tensed up and I'm trying my best. Obviously, if she's light speed, I won't see it, but I'm trying my best to watch for any tells, like for shifting her weight to see if she's like coming at us. Like I'm trying to watch to see if she's just standing there or if she does start coming at us, so I can at least try to take a shot. But I'm trying to talk her down.
Okay, you're trying to talk down. Everyone roll human as he tells her this.
Oh, me. My dude must be just dumb as fuck.
You are ready for the action.
41 over 10.
41 over 10.
25 over 10.
25 over 10.
Human,
Human.
24 under 80.
Okay.
45 under 50.
Okay. And you passed, and you have an 81, and you passed, and you have a 50. Okay. Remy, you're
Yeah. By the way, the increase thing, I meant to ask you this the other day.
Mhm.
Is that like per session between
Per
rests?
session. Per session.
So it goes up even though we were still in the field or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I didn't increase the numbers because I wasn't sure if it increased. Like I didn't know when it applied.
Yeah, please do. You're at I think it's at 81 or something like that. So yeah, you're at 81. Yeah. So Remy, you as she lands down on the ground, you're not quite sure what to make of her body language and mannerisms, but you can tell that they're very strange. But she's been stuck in a fucking septic tank for all these years. I think anybody would be strange at that point.
Busted the hell out of that thing, though.
Philip, you notice that there seems to be a strange disconnect between her speech and facial expressions, as she says to you, "Why didn't you just let me out?" And you also notice that she is in a high state of alert, not quite as defeated as she may seem.
So when you say there's a disconnect, like I get the idea she's pretending.
Yes.
Is she
It was
breathing?
gonna take time to get you out of there.
Yes, she's breathing. And you said what?
I told you it was gonna take you time to get out of there. I
Oh,
didn't even know what state you were in.
why are you all pointing your guns at me? I just...
I don't mean anything by it, ma'am. I point my gun at everything. I pointed my gun at this guy just the other day, didn't I? Remember McDonald's? I had my gun at your head, practically. Just what I do.
It's an overabundance of caution. You'll note that no one has shot at you.
And she kind of like raises her hands up.
Does she seem to be buying it at all, or is she still disconnected with what
Philip,
she's
you
doing?
think she is biding time. The rest of you buy it.
But Philip can says he's still on the ground. You clarified that we have born superpowered throat mics, so you can tell me this, and she can't hear you tell me this if you want to. So you can feed me information on like.
Yeah, if
I'm
she's
basically a trigger
watching
guy.
me, obviously, it would be hard to do, which I don't know. Like, is she after I say that? Is she looking at me? Is she looking at him? Where's her focus?
I mean, you can wait until she looks away, but she's probably going to look at you if she hears any kind of whispering, thinking you're talking to her. I mean, you guys are all right there. If anybody, no one said to the contrary other than David that he was kind of stepping away. The rest of you are all right there by the septic tank where she
I didn't know
hopped
how
out.
far through.
Yeah. You're just right on the other side. I would say everybody's within 3 feet of each other at minimum.
Okay.
So, noticing what I've noticed, I will get as ready for action as I can get. You know, whatever that explicitly may be. I guess I just fell on my ass.
Yeah.
So, if I can like get up to like a crouch, and as surreptitiously as possible, get ready to aim and fire.
Sure. So you kind of like roll over and start to get up in a crouch. She kind of like raises her arms up. It's like, don't.
With my anthropology background,
Uh-huh.
would I could I tell like what else was wrong with her, or see anything else that's unusual off? Like, is she like patched together kind of thing? Like,
Yeah. You don't need to roll. She's not patched together. She looks like a human that has been sat in water for a obtuse amount of time, where you see on the feet and legs, how it kind of gets that puffiness, where it kind of engorges in that visceral fluid. She's got some of that going on. You notice as she takes a step forward, a little bit of skin kind of slogs off with the step. And as she raises her arms up, you see kind of and falls down a slide, a bit of skin. Roll me a sanity check as you're watching this.
me?
Yeah. And everyone else. I guess everybody's looking.
All right.
38 under 70.
Nice.
15 under 50.
Nice.
Apparently, I'm too stupid to be afraid too.
2. Nice.
Under whatever 80.
Yeah. That's good. David?
Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, it's fine. Sanity check.
69 over 60.
Uh-oh.
This is a good thing. And a bad thing. What you see before you is clearly a corpse walking. You have come to terms with that. You know that this person is not alive, and they should not be here anymore, as your brain makes the new pathways and connections to acclimate to this new knowledge that you have made. We're going to roll a d6. Here we go. You take 1 point of sanity damage.
So, she's at this point. She's kind of, even though it may look, since I'm retarded, unlike Philip, it may not look like a. Well, no, I should be able to tell a threatening posture, even with a shitty human, because I've been in the military. I should kind of be able to know, I guess. But she's taken a step forward.
Yeah, she took a
And
step
we're
forward.
already close.
You're very close. At this point,
I've seen zombie movies. I unload in her head.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she takes a step forward, I kind of, I mean,
Okay.
at that point I'm gonna have to fire. I think because if one step she's 2 feet away, she can grab my gun away, yank it away from me at that.
all right. So
Point, if she's
David,
that close.
so David's going to fire.
And Nolan,
Most definitely.
both.
All right. So, well, you're not mentally synced up, so there's going to be a time difference here.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Yeah.
So David, roll me a firearms check as you let this conclusion comes to your head, and you've like, I've seen fucking zombie movies. My wife loves horror movies. Fucking seen this
That's
before.
a 13 under 40.
13 under 40. Roll for damage. I don't know which weapon you're using.
It's the R9.
They are 9, so it's 1d10.
So just
Five.
Uh-huh.
I probably would shoot as well.
Okay.
Just because like she moved, and like crazy adrenaline. She moved. Okay, shoot her.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so
I'm just saying, like,
It's fair.
so here's how it's gonna work. David has initiated combat, so at this point we're rolling into initiative.
yeah.
Guess who's next? Marlene's next. And this round goes into her shoulder, and you see just the flesh explode behind her and falls down as she's left with like an exposed clavicle on the front of her chest. This black ooze just kind of runs down her old nude body to the ground. I'm actually gonna roll for this. Philip, you are not within reach because you're kind of on the ground in a way. David and Remy and Nolan are the closest. So David, Remy, Nolan. So Nolan. She lurches forward and opens her mouth and tries to bite in to you. At this point, we gotta look at the rules, because I think you can contest.
Can I try to dodge?
Yeah,
There's several things you can do, and we haven't done this before, so we'll have to look. Opposed. Combat actions. Yes, you can defend against an attack, but what happens is you do this, and it will take your turn for this round.
So this takes up my turn?
It does. It takes up your turn. Yeah, even opposing takes up your turn. But you can do it. And I'm looking for the dodge action. If someone sees it, let me know.
Oh, I thought it was just my skill. I have a skill called dodge.
Yeah, I think we just roll, and
There's
then...
more to it than that.
Yeah.
But you use the dodge skill to see if you're successful, but like you can do like dodge and parry and dodge and roll and stuff.
So roll to dodge opposes all hand-to-hand attacks and lets your agent duck behind cover if that's a different scenario. So you contest. So fighting, it does not protect you against range attacks. Choose an offensive action for...
I mean, I can't even put a round in her. She's 2 feet away. Like, I can't dodge and like take a penalty and still try to connect.
It takes your action.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, it takes your action. Yeah. Yeah, if you do this, it becomes your agent's single action for this turn. If you have taken an action, you cannot dodge.
Okay. I'm definitely going to try. I mean, it would be instinctual if nothing else. I'm not going to stand there and get bit.
Yeah, so I'm looking for what it takes. Go ahead and roll dodge, but I'm looking to see what I do on my end.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you mine? I rolled it.
Wait a second.
Nope.
It says contest, so I'm going to guess that it is against the attack roll. That's the only thing I can think of. So let me get her. Okay, so I rolled a 71 success.
Okay. I did 20 under 50, my dodge roll.
Okay, so she will beat you because it's opposed. Higher is going to... So she bites down for 4 damage as
So I
her...
have a question.
Go ahead.
Just have a gameplay question.
Yep.
So, like, he's trying to dodge,
Mm-hmm.
but if he fails his dodge by going over 50, how could he ever succeed against any sort of attack?
So the way it works... It's hard, but it makes sense when it's explained a little bit, if I can manage to explain it. So the reason it's above... Like, she rolled a 71, and that was above his 50, means that she is way more skilled than he is, because she has a higher ceiling to get to. So if someone only had a 20 ceiling and they still succeeded, but he rolled a 50, he would dodge that. Does that make sense?
But what if he failed his dodge roll?
Then he'll always get hit if he always fails.
Yeah, that's where it's becomes shitty.
So I take 4 points of damage. Does she bite me on like the shoulder or something?
Yeah, she's just chomping down as she bites down onto your shoulder and pulls a chunk of flesh out and steps back. So she is right in front of Nolan, as it is David, it's your turn again, having popped off your high alert.
My turn again?
Yeah, you initiated it. and it goes by Dex after that.
Oh, okay. I'll shoot her again.
Okay. Roll. Roll hit.
Wait, so Amy and I didn't get a.
You are next, and then Nolan, and then Remy.
Yeah, so he initiated and he says it goes by Dex after that.
That's a
Oh, wait,
22
I get-
under 40.
Okay. Roll the damage.
But
Another 5.
They initiated. Was that like a surprise round?
Kinda. Just kind of whatever I want.
But only
I just didn't understand why the round didn't complete to everybody else before going back to him.
It did, but no one else got to go. He got the first shot, and then it goes into Dex immediately.
Okay.
Would you rather him not go?
No, I just don't understand. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So David, roll the damage, or
It was
roll
only
the
5.
Okay.
It was 22 under 40 and 5 damage.
Awesome. Okay, so you send another round, and you see a little bit of flesh come out again as black ooze makes another hole.
So Mike could have fought back instead of dodging. I think might have been more what he was trying to do for future reference.
I did mention it.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I may have misunderstood a little too, but at the same time, I did say I think that if I was just if nothing else, if this crazy, even though my character is a little used to this, I've seen it before. I still think if something looks like a hag from Dead by Daylight lunges at me, I'm probably going to try and dodge first instead of being stoic and take a shot.
fair.
I was just mentioning that it is a like you can dodge or fight back against
Okay.
a hand-to-hand attack.
Yeah. All right.
That is
so,
good to know.
So Philip, it is your turn.
Yeah, I guess.
top?
That would be my Scarlight Carbine.
Baby. Scar Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby. And I still don't entirely understand lethality and burst.
I was about to ask, is
I-
lethality
I-
a chance that we one-hit kill someone?
Yes.
It is, and I can help you with anything like that. So if that's what you're doing, I can help you. We can get through that. It's not a problem. It's really easy.
But I
That's
guess
a
what I'm
burst
asking
fire,
is
correct?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, you have to burst fire to get lethality.
but what I don't understand is like the difference. Like,
As in, like, what you're rolling for damage?
so like if I'm rolling to shoot, what's the difference in burst versus single? Like, how does that?
There is no difference to hit. But the difference is for people that are standing around it, there's like a small, like 3-meter radius. Sometimes, depending on what weapon you're using, there's different radii for the kill damage to go across. So if you have a tightly packed group of people, you can roll that burst, and they will all take that 10% lethality. Otherwise, you use a regular hit. Or you can do a burst into one person. It's up to you. But the burst offers AoE damage.
So is there? I guess what I'm getting at is there a reason aside from ammo that I wouldn't burst this target?
I can't think of one. I was thinking about this.
What's your
personally.
area on that? Because you may hit
3
Mike.
meters.
Because it's Mike's close.
Yeah, he's in the range. 3 meters. Actually, probably Remy is too, unless she's on the other side.
I probably would have been.
Yeah, so just it's them too. So if you roll to hit and it hits, you roll that damage against all of them, both of them. So that's why.
Okay.
Don't
So
don't
there-
tase me, bro.
Don't taste me, bro. Oh, that's so sad.
So where does it say that range?
It should be on the weapons.
So on the
I see kill
firearm,
radius.
fire rifle, or carbine, all it says about
Kill-
lethality is 10% and use lethality of firing burst.
There is a kill radius somewhere in there for that.
On on the. Oh wait, no, that's my character sheet.
Somewhere in the Agent's Handbook, there's a kill radius for that. I can look it up if you're interested. Hang on. But I really don't want to bog down too much in this kind of stuff. I'd rather move on.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to figure out how that works later. So what you're
So-
saying is
so here it is.
there's a range that it hits even if I'm trying to shoot one target with a burst.
I'm looking at it right now, and we have selected fire. Selected fire. Short burst, short spray, long spray. Does your weapon have either any of those listed? Because they all have a different kill radius. I guess you have to know more about the weapon.
So it's been a couple weeks.
No, it's right here. It's automatic and heavy weapons. It's on the Agent's Handbook. You have a carbine, right?
Yeah, it's a Scarlight.
1 to 3 meters, it says. Kill radius.
Only if burst.
Only if burst, yes. I'll snip it, and I'll send it over to you guys.
So
I mean, I would say that since you are a trained agent, you could, and you recognize situation, you could easily, if you're on, because you would probably be on burst fire, like by default. I don't know a better word for it, but you could easily thumb that selector, and that's going to be ingrained in for 1,000 hours of practice. You could thumb it to single fire because
Yeah.
you know that you want to take a measured shot.
Yeah, I'm totally not worried about that. Like, it's whatever you want to do.
So again, the bottom line is either single fire, semi-automatic, whatever, or the burst always has a 1 to 3 meter lethality range.
The way I'd probably do it, if you rolled, this is just me right now making a decision, like if you rolled to hit, and you were doing burst, and you succeeded, I probably would let you not hit him. But if you failed, you're hitting him.
Okay. And then
especially if you crit fail.
And then the lethality damage
Is
just a percentile roll.
That's it.
By me.
By you, and you add the numbers. You add them as in like a 10 and a 3, not a. Well, that's not a good example. A 3 and a 3, not a 30 and a 3. That makes sense.
Hey, Zach, I crit on my attack, by the way. I hit 22.
Hey.
Okay, so you just double the damage.
Nice. Okay.
So that was a 4, so you did 8 damage.
It was 5 damage.
5 damage, okay.
Okay. So I would know that he's in range of that. I would, probably just, much as I want the damage, I don't know that it's worth risking killing him to save him. So yeah. All right. God damn. See ya, dice. That's an 86 over 70. So, nope.
So single shot, 86 over 70.
Yep.
Okay. 2 misses.
Good thing he didn't burst.
Good thing he didn't burst. He would have his friend. David, you are well aware that you have put more rounds into this creature that any living human could take. Nolan, it is your turn. Actually, you can't go because you used your dodge. Remy, it is your turn.
Okay.
As Nolan is not in the embrace of Marlene, but just reeling from her attack.
So how does it work if I have his shotgun?
Pop away. It is. I think a slug could be. Is a slug has none of it has lethality roll. I think actually, according to the rules.
No.
But
2d6.
Is it the same percentage skill percentage?
You just roll firearms.
Okay.
Yep.
And then it's the shotgun's you got 6 shots before you got to reload. It's 2d6, and with the slug you got up to 75 meters.
I ain't gonna hit.
I mean,
No,
you
I'm
don't
just
know
saying.
that.
My firearms is fucking 20.
Well,
I have a better chance of literally stabbing her with a knife.
You could do that. You have a knife.
You could stab her with the Anglo-Saxon knife. Break the curse.
god damn.
What did she get?
I rolled a 99.
A 99? That's a crit fail.
Yep.
That's
She
a
inserts the shotgun into her mouth and wonders where it all went wrong.
crit fail. Roll damage.
Oh god, it's 2d6.
Yep.
Alright, my d6s be nice to me now. 3.
Nolan, you feel the hot, searing metal crush into your thigh
Of course.
as the slug goes through. We may have a situation here.
Yep.
Roll a con save, Nolan.
What do
So you
I
just-
roll that
you-
against?
So it's your con, it's under your
I have a
physical.
55. I have a 50 because I roll against the times 5, right?
Yes, you have a 75.
55.
You have a 75.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Oh,
con. Con is 15 for you. You have a 75.
Oh,
So
Please.
roll a D100.
I rolled a 4.
Perfect. So that is avoiding being stunned. You are not stunned. As the damage comes through, you've been shot before. Fucking hurts, but you can hold it together.
Hey, by the way,
Huh?
David earlier failed the sand roll without going insane, so that's at least 1 point on.
It was unnatural, so it wasn't a helplessness or violence. Oh, actually, thank you for reminding me. Everybody roll a sand check.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
26 under 59.
Okay.
25 under 50.
Okay.
So was Nolan.
Okay. 23 under 70. I got like-
Okay.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
But still 23, I still wouldn't have hit with that if that was my hit anyway. I feel like I should just like take out my knife and like jump on
Hey,
her.
who knows what would have happened?
Go like all Zombieland style.
Yeah, because she can't oppose you. She's already done her action.
Yeah.
46 under 85.
Excellent. Everybody passes, but you all take 1 point of sand damage against this fighting this unnatural entity. This skin and blood and viscera just shooting out the back of it. There's a violence, yes, so everybody gets a check in violence.
Okay.
Right? Is that right? Let me look. Hang
If
on.
it's violence that we're rolling against, and we
Yes.
No, I keep doing that wrong. You have to fail without going insane to get the check.
It says sand loss without going insane. To me.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because we lose points this time. That
Yeah.
was the difference.
That was what we needed. Everybody kept passing. So everybody gets a check in mental and violence. And incidents of sand loss without going insane. Everybody get a check there. And actually,
Violence and what?
yeah,
Violence and what?
that's it. Violence.
Okay.
Violence.
That's it. I did trail on into Never Never Land, but there was nothing else.
After I get shot in the leg, I kind of scream, could you guys please shoot her, not me?
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, at this point, I'm on the ground too. There's no way, even though I'm not stunned. I mean, I'm at least crouched. I'm not going to stand on a leg with a slug through it. So I'm
Probably.
with it, but I'm crouched.
You can still shoot.
Yeah.
Marlene watches you go down, and she looks at you guys and turns her head.
Never could a meatbag as weak as you comprehend the other planes. Time to you is life and death, but a mere inconvenience to us. The plans of the other stretch eons and evade explanation to your three-dimensional existence. Your feeble form has yet to step foot into the streets of Carcosa. May your mind wilt and die burdened with the knowledge you will never gain.
And she reaches out and makes an attack at Remy with her broken and mangled fingers. Just bone. That's a 10.
Hey, out of character real quick. You've got an effect on. Your voice is super tinny and weird.
Oh, sorry, it was telephone.
There we go, O'Brien.
Telephone.
You can fight back or dodge.
Yes, this is a new round. Or take it and do what you want to do. It's up to you.
Your call. If I understand fighting back correctly, you could fire your gun. You know. But you know. What you can do.
So you have of all times, you have a fairly good chance to beat this one since I told you what the roll was. It was a 10.
Oh, yeah, I missed that.
And this would be conflicting, if you're going to oppose, it would be a conflicting roll against that.
Yeah. So, it says on here, on one of my weapons, it says pistol butt, but I've got a shotgun. Can I, like, hit her with the butt of the shotgun instead?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, you can do that.
And the two-handed weapons have a 1d8 versus the 1d4 on the pistols.
Thank you, Jed.
And
You're welcome.
but it's still my 30 for
It's
my hit.
whatever your melee is.
My melee is 30.
Now, your unarmed may be higher.
It is higher.
So that's your call. It would do more damage if you hit with the gun butt, but your unarmed base is probably a little bit higher if you'd rather try.
Higher,
Yeah.
But it's 1d4 minus 1, so technically I have a chance of getting a 0.
You're not wrong.
So I think the most important part here, and correct me if I'm wrong and misunderstand this, opposing successfully would avoid the damage.
Yes.
So I think that's what your main goal should or would be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not if you can hit. So you want would you? I personally would use your highest chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably just. well,
Let me look
punch
here.
a hag.
Yeah, I mean,
Try to
your
punch a hag or bitch slap her.
hag.
I don't know, one or the other.
damage is great, but if you succeed,
Yep. You can
Got
use melee weapons or unarmed combat. It says right here in the rules to fight back. So
crit success.
Crit success, 33 under 40.
33 under 40. So she comes down with a claw and you pick up your shotgun and move it out of the way and take the butt and slam it into her face as you feel.
Oh, no, that was I said I was punching or
Okay.
slapping her. But
Sure.
either way, yes.
Yeah, you fucking move the arm out of the way and
Punch her with a gun and punch
slam
her,
your
yeah.
fist into her face, much harder than you ever thought your fist could be. You feel the bones crunch underneath your fingers as you do a certain amount of damage.
Is it okay? Is it double damage, double the dice damage still?
As far as I know, it's double the dice, so we're gonna roll it that way.
So 7 damage.
All right.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Nice.
It did something.
Yes.
Asian guy thumbs up as I'm bleeding profusely from my
Right.
leg.
I'll take care of you later.
I'll get you in a minute.
Remy, as she slams her fist into her face, is like, "Shut the fuck up!" And just
Right.
the jaw,
Fucking dumb bitch.
the jaw just kind of comes
I really
unhinged.
don't know.
Good job. You may have saved your team. David, it's your turn.
What did you say about her?
Me?
It like cut out when he said something about
Yes,
Oh,
you.
Me? I said you may have saved the team. That's what I said.
it. Before that, I heard you say something, but I couldn't understand it.
Good job.
Okay.
Before that was
I
her
will
jaw unhinged.
Her
I
jaw
will-
unhinged. Okay.
I will shoot her again.
Okay. You know what to do. Firearms.
17 under 40.
Nice.
Nice.
6 damage.
6 damage. Alright.
Damn, she has a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done.
You've done a lot.
I've done a lot.
You've done a lot. Every
21?
time, yeah, every time you shoot, you see flesh just fly off of her.
Still bleeding here, guys.
Gordon,
You mean to kill it or fix you?
Philip Gordon, it is your turn. On the ground. I'm thinking you're like ready to fucking pop off.
So, remind me again how all the other, because like,
Just tell me what you want to do.
well, there's like modifiers and like called shots, and how does that work again?
I'm not sure on the call shot for right now, but I know someone has a laser sight.
I do.
And I think you have one too. Let me look at the called shot here. I'm scrolling down to it.
Combat modifiers.
Inflict damage, ignore cover or armor at a negative 20%.
So, by the way, 3 meters or less is a plus 20% to hit.
Good to know.
Shoot
Everybody
at
should be
full
adding that.
range. Do
Yep.
what?
Everybody should be adding that then.
Yeah. So
Yep.
just damn, that would have been a hit.
I rolled a 99.
Yeah, yours is not.
Yeah.
Mine would.
She's fucking popping off over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The called shot or area of attack.
Yeah, so it's basically you ignore armor at a 20% or 40% negative.
Yeah.
And it actually says... Oh, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, so... You're not sure if that would help you in this situation. But you are sure that this zombie lady is fucking breathing down your neck. So you're
Yeah.
gonna...
Well, that's why I was trying to make sure that I understood, like, if one of those is a thing that I should be doing.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the only other thing is to aim, but it takes your turn to get a plus 20%. So, not really worth it in this time.
Sacrifice 1 turn to gain plus 20. Called shot is minus.
Minus 20 or minus 40 to ignore cover and armor.
But yeah, okay, so it's own. Okay.
All right, what you get? What's
Okay.
Philip doing?
Yep. I mean, we're shooting.
All right, let's shoot.
Um. Five.
Oh, nice.
A lot. I'm 590.
Good fucking God.
Well, it's plus 20. 590. Let's see. Where did them sixes? Where'd they go?
I got a whole bunch of here.
All right. 8 damage.
8 damage.
Yep.
Nice.
Not bad. Okay.
You shoot another round into her. It seems to like nick her spine or something as she kind of like slouches over at an odd angle, looming down in front of Nolan as it's Nolan's turn.
All right, I'm crouching. I just bring my rifle up. I'm just gonna shoot at her.
How does
where-
movement work?
Wait,
can-
I'm on the ground and. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, let's you go ahead unless you want to know about movement.
I don't. I just wanted to know in
Go ahead.
relation to me because I'm on the ground. Based on relation where I don't think David's a problem, but Remy and Philip, are they in my cone of fire if I
No.
burst fired?
No
If
one's
I'm-
in
due to my angle.
Dude, you're on the ground and she is fucking leaning over you, and her blood and black viscera are dripping onto your body.
All right, so I flip the selector to full auto and say some quippy action hero movie like "Go fuck yourself." I don't know, and I just try to unload with my rifle into her. So I am trying to do the kill radius lethality thing. Do I need to roll firearms?
Yeah, so you still have to roll firearms, and if it hits, then we roll your lethality damage.
11 under 70.
Okay.
Is that with the plus 20 for being point blank?
And that's a crit.
Oh, well, my 70's my natural, so I guess it'd be 11 under 90.
Yeah.
And that's a crit.
Yeah.
It is a
So
crit.
if it was a 10, in some cases you would have killed it outright. But it's not.
Okay,
So
so-
you add that together. So it's a. You rolled an
1d12 that says
No,
the
no,
damage.
no. You use what you
Oh.
rolled. So it's a 10 and a 1, right? So you get.
I'm rolling online dice, so yes, I
oh,
assume.
yeah. So it's a 2 damage.
Okay. Damn. Wait, how did...
What?
I'm confused. I
So-
rolled to hit 11 under 90. I have a 1d12 damage die. How did I do so little damage?
So the percentile dice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this
Okay.
one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you add these two numbers together. It's not a 10, 30, 20, 40.
But
when
that
you're-
was his hit.
I was
you-
rolling... I'm confused. I was rolling to hit, I
gotcha.
thought.
Yeah, sorry. But no, that does carry forward. That's still true. So if it...
Okay.
Yeah, that's still the same thing.
So I don't roll damage at all because I rolled...
Not for
11.
lethality. Use the same roll. Yeah.
I thought it was for actual damage.
No.
So, okay. Alright. So it's not lethal is what you're saying. I don't get the lethality bonus, but now I roll for just flat damage. I'll just roll a 1d12 to see what I get for total damage.
No. You just use what you already
Okay.
rolled. Lethality was just one roll. If it's under 10, because you have a 10%, right?
Yeah.
In certain circumstances, that's a flat out kill. You rolled an 11, so it's not a flat out kill. So you use the numbers on the dice for the damage.
Wow, so I would have done more damage with a single shot, rolling a 1d. I could have done a lot more damage with a single shot than with a full auto. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just this doesn't make sense to me in the
could
context
have.
of.
The only place I may have it mixed up is if you roll again or you use the same roll that you did to hit.
Well, because like his
Yeah.
damage was a D12, so that's why I'm confused about why you would.
I'm
use
positive
different-
on the way that's the way the damage works. I'm not positive on if you roll again or not.
I mean, we could. I
Yeah.
just do too then. We'll take what you're saying.
That's
so-
pretty good. But
Yeah.
that's only if
Yeah.
you're rolling with lethality.
Correct. Only lethality. Yeah.
Correct.
I guess maybe they would explain it away by saying I only hit one of the bullets or something, even though I hit. Maybe I missed the other ones. I don't know. But yeah, okay. So two
This
damage.
is the trade-off between using your straight damage or lethality roll because it's used mostly for AoE damage.
All right, I understand now. I'm on board. That's the piece I was missing. I thought it was an additive bonus.
It's useless. That's what we need to know.
Yeah, I thought it was like an additive. You always got your D12 in my case, and then you added on top. I didn't know it replaced, but I know
Yeah.
now, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
Now-
So what do you say? What's your quippy remark?
Go back to hell, you soggy bitch.
And you just go and you just see the bullets just go flick, 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 and she flops down to the ground on top of you, just dripping
Great.
and just desiccated flesh all over your body.
Right, she's laying on top of you.
What do you guys do?
Is it moving?
I start screaming, please get this fucking thing off me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm immediately going over and like kicking it off of him.
I'll use the
Okay.
shotgun butt and try to like.
Kick it off and then double tap the head.
Okay, so you kick it
I've
off.
seen those zombie movies.
All right, you kick it off, and as you reach your gun down to do the double tap, you see her arm start to raise up again. You go cack, 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 and her head lolls down to the ground again.
And I'm just covered in goop,
Fucking zombies.
bleeding profusely.
As soon as
All
she's
right.
after that movement, I'm watching her like a damn hawk.
Okay.
You watch her. I'm gonna pull him into the shed so I can actually get some work done without having to worry about Ryan getting into it.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna take him into the shed and work on his leg.
Okay.
Philip, what are you doing when you're looking down watching her?
I am just watching for any movement whatsoever. And
Okay.
I'm Like, I'm close, but, like, I'm not immediately in grabby range. Like, I am just on high alert, paranoid at this point, especially since she moved after that.
Yeah. Okay. You wait several moments, and you see the eyes that are rolled back in her head kind of flop back in front and look directly at you. Come out, pop, pop, pop. Send another round into him, and the eyes just kind of go crossed.
Somebody give me some fire.
I'll bring over a thing and gas.
Yeah, I'm still limping to the shed with David at this point.
Is he gonna... Hey, David, is he gonna bleed out?
He's gonna be fine.
All right, get me some fucking gasoline
Bringing it over.
and a lighter.
Remy's
She came
got it.
back. Yeah.
Look next to you.
Done. I poured the gas and I went like this with my Bic.
And the body, Marlene, the other, ignites on fire, and you see her head kind of rise off the ground. Her head goes back down onto the ground.
I'm putting another bullet in her.
That's all I went there.
Finally, you guys watch for a few moments, and several rounds later, continuing to put her back in her place, the flesh, what's left of it, burns off of her body. The screams continue, echoing throughout the woods when there's no body left. Everybody make a sand check. Or you two make a sand check. As these ethereal screams are going throughout the night with no body to give them purchase.
Oh, fucking hell.
Zach,
What'd you get, a 1?
1.
Alright.
You know what I rolled?
What'd you roll?
99, the other?
I rolled an 85 over 84.
Oh.
Damn. Alright. So, Remy, that's a crit success. I believe, and 1 is the best you can get. So you don't take any sand loss. You, however, roll me. Hey, Chad, will you roll me a 1 d6 over there on your end?
Oh god. Okay.
My hand hurts from rolling so much over here.
6.
A 6. You take 6 sand damage. Remy, this doesn't really affect you much. You're like, it must be an echo from the mountain. You know, it's not. She's still not screaming. It was just from before. But Philip understands that these screams are still happening from nobody. And with that, I do believe we pass into temporary insanity for Philip, because he lost more than 5 or more. Which leads you straight to fight.
But my breaking point's way lower than that.
Temporary insanity is fight, flight, or submit.
Oh.
Because you lost 5 in 1 round, and 1 in 1 hit.
Okay.
So mental.
So, I mean, is this where decisions are made about, like, taking it out of something other than sanity? Like, does that prevent temporary insanity?
Yes, you absolutely could. So let's look at that. How to repress insanity. You can use your willpower and a bond by 1d4. So you roll a 1d4, and you will negate that from your willpower, your bond, and the sanity damage.
Wait, I thought it was willpower or bond. Is it both?
It's both.
No.
And you have to roll another sand check. It's reduce willpower and a bond by 1d4, then test sand. If the sand succeeds, the temporary insanity or disorder effects can be stifled.
Okay.
Say roll one of your d4s that's in jail.
Technically, all you want is a 1. Or a 2, at least.
Well, it doesn't matter.
What'd you get?
A 1.
A 1. So you rolled a d4 and got a 1?
Yep.
Do you want to roll your... You need to roll your SAN as well.
So
I read it wrong. You need to do your SAN check. So what it's doing is it's not all 3. It's willpower and bond, and then if you pass your SAN by reflecting back on these, you don't negate it to your SAN, it negates the whole insanity if you pass your SAN check. So this is the best case scenario. So you're only...
Check.
Yeah, you just need to pass your SAN check.
So my SAN was 84. That was a 6. We're redirecting it. So I'm re-rolling
Yeah,
at
so-
the same value?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because otherwise it's not much point, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So I'm re-rolling at the same value. Okay. Okay, so that's 23 under 84.
Actually, I think you still take the SAN damage, but your insanity event is not something that happens, which is what you want to get rid of. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's it. But you still pass, so either way. So you're at 78?
Yeah, that's the number I was going to be at.
Okay, yeah. So you're at 78, but you don't go insane.
So,
That's it?
okay.
That's it.
So then my willpower points goes down,
1.
and one of my bonds goes.
Yep. And a bond, yep.
And the willpower, much like the HP insanity, is more quote unquote temporary.
Yeah, that refills at a long rest, you said, right? Or a home event? Your
It's-
willpower refills?
Yeah.
What?
Willpower restores after a long rest.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the bond is a permanent loss. The other is just like the health and the sanity, temporary.
Yeah, the bond is the hardest thing to gain back there.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, like I guess I think there's weird out of, at home, blah blah whatever.
All right, so which bond do you choose?
Yeah, I'm on a mission. Sounds like FBI friends.
Yeah. All right, got you at 12 there. The sounds and echoes of her voice finally fade away. You're looking at this charred husk before you.
So about the time I shake that off, I'm going to encourage us to get that stuff back in the thing, and we'll go back to step 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in pain, but I'm able to. David fixed me up. I can limp with the arm on a shoulder, so I just kind of get help and limp over to the car. I've got my equipment on me, and I just kind of get in the car, get myself out of the way. You guys can grab everything and get back, because we need at this point we need to try and report back to that rendezvous point to get with our Delta contact.
Yeah, so we just got to get rid of this first.
I've got a 64 out of 70 on my first aid for Mike, by the way.
Excellent. I don't know how much you roll there. I'm looking. So if anybody sees it. I was scrolling through, trying to find first aid. I'll just have to... I think it's like 1d4, but I want to make sure. Okay. Healing, treatment, medical, for an injury, death. Stabilizing a wounded character with a successful first aid immediately heals 1d4 HP. Critical success doubles the amount. So what'd you roll?
64.
64. All right, so roll 1d4.
3.
3. So he gains 3 HP back, putting him at 9 HP. And
Nice.
also on your physical area, first aid has already been attempted. Go ahead and check that out.
Don't. Oh yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yep.
And the big one was his leg, by the way. That was
Yeah,
the main one.
definitely. Yeah, so you're up. You can move around.
So we've burned the contents at this point in a roundabout way. We've got that taken care of. We still have. I mean, there's no reason we've lost the artifacts. We still have them. So, I mean,
So-
other than
I'm assuming that, we just burned the flesh off. We still have the skeleton.
You do. I'll be right back.
oh, I thought you said it burned away to nothing. Okay, so we still have the skeleton.
So, hey, David, if we get enough gas in there, are these things going to go away?
What things?
The ones, over here that, kind of look like a remains of someone?
Adding more to her out here would probably be better than putting her in there, since evidently there's water in there.
Do what?
From the way her legs were looking, it looks like there was water in there, and burning her out here would probably be better than burning her inside the container.
Fair point, I suppose. Is it?
Because more than likely she'll sink into the water, and then it's not going to help.
Yeah, but what sort of remains are going to be out here,
Think it looked like a bonfire.
Hey, Nolan,
Yo,
before we didn't want this to explode. Do we have enough gas to make it happen?
so I would say, yeah, I would assume at this point, I would say yes, because we barely poured any in there before that bitch blew the hatch off, started this whole thing. So we've got however much we had, 20, let's say 19 gallons, some spilled, 19 or 20 gallons.
Yep.
So if we lashed them all together, we could pour. So the thing is, I don't know if pouring them on the ground. I don't know how we're gonna get it to explode because the surface.
Right,
I don't.
concentrated. I'm wondering if we stuff her in there and we get all of it in there, will it explode?
In my hazy delirium calculus symbols, I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're like, just throw the fucking bottles in there.
Do what?
Nolan's like, just put the bottles in there. You don't have to dump them all. You can dump some and just throw the rest to make an explosion.
Yeah, we can get our skeleton back in there.
So
Whatever's left of it.
If we stuff the body in there, we dump the rest of those in there, pour a few out, and light this, we might be back in a situation where we have a plausible explosion of a septic tank.
Yep.
As long as the bones melt, and it'll also hopefully get rid of at least enough of this evidence that it doesn't look like a damn, MS-13 initiation rite happened over here.
Yeah, I think that would work. And I don't.
In addition to getting the fuck out of here and reporting back in before somebody shows up, we need to take care of these two items. And I think that's our quickest bet, unless somebody else has a better idea.
No, I think we need to do that. You guys were starting to fashion those fuses, makeshift fuses. So let's get those. If we're a few feet away, we can be maybe around the corner of the house. It's not going to be a nuclear bomb. It's not going to be a big enough explosion to hurt us through at least unless we're standing over the top of it when it explodes. So,
David, you think that sort of heat would take care of the bones for us, or do we need to get them to the bottom of the lake? What's our best option here?
I'm not gonna Google it because I'll be put on a list.
Yeah, I'm.
I don't
think that's
think
what it
it
means.
will. I think it has to be 1,500 degrees for a sustained amount of time for a crematory.
Okay.
It's hard to get rid of bones. That's why people bury them
Yeah, I know.
or eat them.
I mean, we are on a lake. We could still explode it, make it look like an accident. We could just put the bones in the lake, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or I mean, no. Well, no, I wouldn't be good. Never mind.
So you're thinking dump the bones in the lake?
I call not it, since I've done my heroic sacrifice for the night. But
You can take it easy.
Philip, bring me
I-
your fingers.
Huh?
Bring me your fingers.
Well, you got like a splint in there. It's gonna hurt like hell, but it's all right. They're just broken, I think.
We have some narcotics instead, then.
Yes.
Do I even?
I got some pain pills. They'll help.
It's up to you, Philip.
So out of character, we can only heal once. It's
Yep.
1d4. I lost 1 hit point, and I would imagine that really there's not much we can do other than like put a splint on there. So like, I feel like it's probably unnecessary. Does that seem like a logical?
You can only do first aid once. You can still go to the hospital.
And with
Well,
broken fingers, I would suggest going to the hospital.
Yeah, I'll go to urgent care. It's all right.
At least take a pain pill, something to stop you from.
I'm more worried about like gangrene. You got any like
Yes.
All right, let's take care of that. Let's just clean it off real good, and I'll tape them together, and we'll move on.
All right.
so while they're discussing the finer parts of first aid, I'm kind of trying to help fashion fuses, and I guess working with Remy to help do that, so we can get our makeshift bomb underway.
Okay. You have plenty of demolitions. Don't need to roll for that. You and Remy able to concoct something there, ready to go and ready to blow. What are you doing with the body, or what's left of the skeleton?
I guess
So-
bag it up in one of the blankets we have, because we're going to throw it in the lake. We could just gather it, that way we're not touching it directly, and we don't have to
Yeah.
pick it up and make 20 trips.
Okay.
We don't need to touch it at all.
Yeah. Sure.
So we're thinking, bones, rock, blanket, lake.
That's what I'm thinking. We have some rope we can tie around, make like a sack out of a blanket.
You had some gloves too, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you and I can take gloves. We can keep prints off the stuff there. I mean, we could torch the place and put the body in there, but it ain't gonna burn fast. And I don't know. That seems like it's asking for more trouble.
It's still raining.
Yeah.
So I think either like you said, we either let them sink and hope for the best, or we put them in here and hope that they break into enough pieces. But I like maybe the best bet, as much as it screams. Well, I mean, we could get rid of them at another time, but I don't think
I don't think we should keep those with us.
No.
Yeah, I think that's inviting trouble
And the screams did stop
Oh, good.
eventually.
until Wednesday.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. We got a plan. Get the body in the lake. Hope for the best. No evidence. I think, forensics and whatever. We should be able to do that cleanly, and then maybe by the time we get that taken care of, Nolan and David will have the tank ready. Sound
Sure.
good? All right. We doing rolls on that, Zach? Or-
Nope.
All right.
All right, so we fashion fuses. We dump a little bit of gas in the tank, put the rest of the containers just whole in there. We have a length of whatever we want to call it that goes to the side of the house. I don't think that's that extreme. It's like 20 feet, 15, 20 feet. We've got a road flare still we never used. So we're just kind of waiting.
Can we just tie the string around the road flare and suspend it on top of the hole, and then it'll burn
Yeah.
through the twine and fall in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, that would work too. I don't care.
All right, that seems easier than him, deciding whether or not to make us roll to see if the rain puts out our makeshift fuse.
All right. Well then, I guess because it would take you guys a few minutes to get to the lake. So by the time you're back, we have this ready. The flare's not struck, but it's ready.
So you're igniting the cabin on fire?
Nope.
The
No,
septic
we're just
tank.
blowing up the septic tank.
There's
Yep.
Even though there's nothing in there anymore.
Yeah, we're trying to make it look like an accident. That's
Gotcha.
the plan that we
All
came
right.
up with.
Just
To
making
make
sure
it
I
look like
understood.
something fitted.
A lot of 7.62 and 5.56 bullets around here.
Yeah. You guys gonna pick that up?
Police your brass.
Yeah.
I have to reload those.
Fair point. Yeah. So I guess if we pick those up, we really don't need to explode it.
There's
I mean,
bullet holes in it.
The only
Yeah,
thing
we've already loaded the gas. This thing's
There's
blowing
the
up.
bullet mark, there's the bullet hole. Yeah, I forgot about the bullet holes. That was my other thought. All right, yeah, so we're doing that.
Okay.
So do we need to roll a check to make sure we get all our casings? I mean, I don't
think. Yeah. No. Not to-
because we've fired each less than 10 bullets. Remy fired slugs, so those are easy to find. I mean,
Yeah.
What? One,
Yeah,
one
exactly.
slug from you, 2 shots from me, 3 or 4 shots from David.
and then 3 for me because I fired a
from
burst.
Sleeve.
mine hit him, so
That's what I mean. You fired 1 slug. I fired 2 bullets.
I think
Mine
that
fired-
Philip has more than enough forensics to, with the combination of you guys' firearm skill, to count all those shells and make sure you guys retrieve them all. As the septic tank lights on fire and explodes, the great in the back. Are you guys lighting the cabin on fire as well, just as a safety?
Well, I wasn't planning to.
I thought we decided
didn't know,
that
so.
we were running that through in our head and said that we wouldn't. We were worried we wouldn't have enough, given how much it was raining and we had on hand. We wouldn't be able to light it.
True.
We wouldn't be able to look convincingly like an arson. So we were hoping that just blowing up the septic tank made it look broad enough, diverted the suspicion there, and just go from there. I don't know that we would be able to burn the house down. Honestly, if I'm trying to think about this logically, I don't think we would have enough stuff left on us because I don't have explosives on me.
No.
How big was that footlocker?
Probably like, what, 2.5 feet by 1.5 feet? Small footlocker.
I'm thinking that it might be easier just to throw that in the car than
Sure.
to clean it.
Yeah. So who put the body into the river?
She and I went down with the gloves and the.
All right. So you drag the skeletal remains at the edge of the river. The voices have stopped, and you watch as the dark liquid of the river just slowly covers up the body as it takes it away deeper. The current takes it out of here. The fire is simmering in the back of the house. Looks like it did a pretty good number as concrete has exploded everywhere.
Somewhere in the process of that, I probably would have had the wherewithal to go, hey, maybe I should turn on that police band.
Yep.
Just keep an ear out.
Turning on your police band right now is clear.
So I'll just kind of keep an ear out on that while we're taking care of everything.
Okay.
So I guess after you guys come back up the lake, we kind of do like a run through real quick. We try to pool our wits together. You know, do you guys still have the fucky glass orb that's not glass, and the ancient, what was it, French, Roman, what was that stupid, the knife? Still have the knife, Remy?
Yep.
All right, so we got that. We jigged the septic tank out back. You guys took care of the body. You got the footlocker, Philip, or you're dragging it out, I guess.
Would it be, I guess that'd be would it be easier to, like, just because of how dusty the whole place is, like, is it going to be more evident that the footlocker's gone or that we cleaned prints off of it?
If you clean it, it's going to stand out.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if we just grab it and kind of kick some dust around, move on.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have it.
And then we've got our gloves on, so I'd probably just, lock the door back up, toss the footlocker in the car and finish our little checklist and get the fuck out of here.
Anybody
We
else?
are agreed that we're driving. That we're going back to the post office to reconvene with Joker Puppet Man because we need to debrief and talk to him. That's where they are. They're in that room at the post office.
Yeah.
Did I get the impression that he would be there anytime other than 48 hours later?
No.
We may just
Well,
have to-
wouldn't I know from doing a previous operation whether we can come back at any time or whether it has to be exactly 48 hours?
You would know that what they say is exactly what they mean.
Okay, I guess then I need to bring that up too. I kind of just out of character. I just fucking forgot about that, to be honest. But we're getting in the the SUV at this point, and we're talking about where to go, and that's when I guess I bring that up, and Philip agrees with me or has his own like intuition about what whether he thinks the guy would be there and how much time we know. I mean, I think we said last time we spent almost 3 hours, so maybe now we spent 6 real time hours or 8.
It was like 5 or 6 when you guys got to the cabin, I think.
So we'll say 10 now, 4 hours for doing all the shit we've done, trying not to die.
Yeah. It was already dark, so it's darker now in the storm.
Okay, we'll say 10 to 12 hours. We wouldn't know maybe we didn't look at a clock, but so I mean, so I guess what are we gonna do the next? Because these guys exist on a really tight timetable. I don't really want to. Do we want to try and separate and just hope that we find each other again and nothing else happens? Do we want to use your fancy FBI credit card and I'll just go stay at the finest Motel 6 we can find? Or what are we thinking?
I mean, an incidental room isn't really going to be a big deal. We could go back to the storage unit. We could split up, or we could.
Have family I need to get back to.
I need to get to a hospital, actually, because I've still got a gaping wound in my leg.
Yeah,
So
both of you do.
I guess that's a good question. Like, what sort of state is he in? I mean, he's been patched up.
He can walk. He's been patched up. He's not going to bleed out today.
It's a clean through and through, right? Can we say that, or David has enough first aid that he could say the slug isn't still in me. I just need to go get it checked out and get sewn up.
I would say so. You're more worried about long-term sickness than you are dying right here, right now.
Well, if one of you guys can drop me at a curb of a hospital, and I think I need to go there first, I can call my wife.
Well, you and Philip both need to go to the hospital.
He's got broken fingers. Come on.
All right, ignore the doctor.
I mean,
So you guys,
so while we're driving back,
did you get in the car yet?
Yeah,
that was where we were headed. Yeah.
Yeah, we could. No, we were definitely in the car. I don't know how far we were down, but
Everybody gets in the car. As you guys get in the car, everybody roll me each separately. Roll me a d8.
oh, I don't have one of those.
No,
No, I gotta load
Okay.
the website.
Okay.
Hold on. I got it now.
7.
Okay.
Do I tell you the number?
Remember the number.
Oh.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine. You
I
can tell
remember.
me. It doesn't matter.
I don't want to tell you now.
What is it?
Nope. You told me
All
not to tell you.
Everybody add that number that you rolled to your sanity.
Which I'd rolled an 8. Got a 6. Oh well. Woohoo!
Sanity?
Add.
Can you go over max though?
99 is max.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 7, by the way.
Nice.
Out of character, is this like the reward of the adrenaline wears off and we realize we're alive?
Yep.
Okay.
You guys fucking made it. You're out of here. As far as you know, you got rid of whatever that thing was and
So
deposited.
how do you? Sorry, question.
Go ahead.
How do you get rid of the incidence of sanity loss without going insane, like our violence?
You don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want to keep those.
So if you don't go insane, you don't have to roll for violence or helplessness.
Oh, okay.
If you get those. Oh, pencil.
What are you guys doing?
Like as far as what we're doing. Yeah, so
exactly.
we're.
Like, are we going back to the where are we going?
I definitely
When
think
you-
that I would have to be dropped off at a hospital and then
So
like
we
try to
have
make
to-
contact with my wife.
Yeah, either before or after we drop him off wherever he wants to go.
Back
we
to the
have
storage
to go-
unit. I gotta get my truck. I
Yeah,
gotta get my vehicle.
we have to go to the safe spot, whatever thing.
Storage unit.
Storage unit to get his truck. So the question becomes, are you going to a legit doctor? Like, are we taking you to a hospital? Because I know there's some shenanigans involved at that point.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Are you going? Like, you have a gunshot wound.
Yeah, so like, I mean, can he go in and say like, I was cleaning my gun?
He can try to do whatever he wants to do.
I get what I'm getting at is like, I know there's a whole mechanic for finding a doctor that won't ask questions, but I also know that it's either tough and or expensive or something.
Yeah, so I would, I guess from a character standpoint, all I would know is what's happened the other time, but that's not a guarantee to happen again. Like if like on my previous operation, if I had found a clandestine doctor, it's not like I can just call up Rick's doctor supply and he's like, "Oh, I always do Delta operations. I'll do it again for you." That guy could be fucking dead for all I know. So
No.
I mean, I don't know that I would have an option. Yeah, it's not. It's I had that in the back of my mind. It's not a good idea because I've got to come up with some kind of lie. But I don't think, even though it was a clean shot, I don't think it's something I go home and deal with and try and wake up in the morning and figure out what to do.
Yeah.
I think I need to at least go get it cleaned out like as soon as possible, so
You
I don't
can-
lose the damn leg.
You can lie, or you could ask Philip to help you with a connection. He has a 61 criminology. He could roll for that.
Oh,
Maybe he knows somebody.
so do you have any doctors that make of the meatball that can help me out here, or do I have to try and tell and crack some story about how I fell down the stairs and shot myself in the leg with a shotgun?
Zach, I guess we'll talk about that last time. Does Kevlar really only come into play with pistol, like weapons, guns?
Yeah, certain attacks. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't have had it on my thigh anyways.
Well, yeah.
So go ahead and roll me criminology, Philip, if you're helping him, trying to move it along.
Is there a way for me to? Can I assist with mine too, or anything?
This is yours.
Yeah. It's not you.
I thought you said David a minute ago.
Nope.
Sorry, my bad.
David doesn't know that. No. David
Well, I
doesn't
was
deal in
thinking
criminology.
you were, med or whatever. So that was in between that, and I misheard the name. Sorry. Whew. 59 under 61.
Perfect. Yeah, you know a guy. A local veterinarian that could do a little more than what's necessary there.
Yeah, right. A local dentist. Yeah.
Local dentist,
So I
whatever
guess
you want.
She's really good.
Can he? Does it matter? Can he help me concoct a lie for my wife too? Like to explain where I'm going. Does that play in at all, or do I not have to worry about that? 'Cause I'm not going to be home.
No, he definitely does not know your wife or know how to lie to her.
I'll make up some stupid story about I'm out drunk. She doesn't really. I don't know. I'll deal with that separately.
Yeah.
I'd take him up on his offer of the veterinarian for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, this was, I got this contact when I got reassigned to the field office here. They ought to be able to help us out. If we need to keep it low, I'll. I should have a case we can tie it to. No worries. So we'll whichever makes sense logically on yield map. We'll either drop him off and then go to the safe house, or go to the safe house and then there.
As you guys are leaving the area, you pass that dead deer,
Oh fuck!
and you notice that it's not on the side of the road anymore. There's no more dead deer. Something must have grabbed it and drug it off or something. Are you guys going to the?
It's a zombie deer now. Fuck.
I just said that too.
Are you guys going to the green box or the dentist?
So that's what I was saying. Is just whichever makes sense, on a map.
You can drop them off at the dentist and
Okay.
let them take care of that.
Whichever's on the way to the other.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, we're getting his car. And I guess, all right. Remy, David, are we, David, I'm guessing you need to go home.
Yep. She's probably pissed.
What are you doing, Remy?
I mean, I don't really have to be home because I'm out late for work and stay at random hotels, so I don't have to drive home. And sometimes I get called off on special business,
All right.
or just work late at the office and lose track of time. Fall asleep.
All right.
It's not imperative that I go back.
Okay. Well, so I guess,
And honestly, at this point, if somebody or something is following us, I don't know that I want to leave them back.
yeah, that's pretty fair. I don't particularly love letting them go, but I know that we need to. Listen, David, just check in a couple times. Give me, we'll work out some sort of code here, to say, hey,
Did you get the milk?
yeah, there you go. I'll text you in an hour or so and say, did you get the milk? And you tell me whatever if you're good and everything seems fine, and if anything gets hairy, just I don't know, text me ask me if I'm ready for a good time or some shit, right? Just real bizarre and out of the water, and we'll know that something's up.
Okay.
What direction are we headed if something is down, something's going on? If you don't want to give me your address, just give me a part of town or something.
Like you couldn't find it anyways. You have a box
Yeah.
there on your.
I could, but I try to be on the up and up with people here.
I'll watch you give him the address.
I'll find a corner of a black, inconspicuous corner of a black book, and make a mark like it's some informant contact or some shit. And all right, well, we'll I guess we're either gonna lay low here, or we're gonna find the Motel 6, and we'll I don't know, ping us in the morning. We'll work out a code word for that before you leave here. And if we want to go ahead and hook back up before we go over there, we can.
All right.
We'll once we get situated, we'll check in with what's his
Nolan.
face? Nolan.
And the items?
I mean, so
Last
the
I heard,
orb
Nolan
was in,
had it in
has
his
the
backpack.
orb.
Yeah.
I have the knife, but he has the orb.
thought he didn't have it. Okay. Well. The rest of it, I guess, probably put back in the footlocker. And so, what do you guys think? Should we just leave this in the safe house here, or should we keep it on us? How did he phrase our instructions again?
Let me scroll up to make sure. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about artifacts. It says remove any evidence of Delta Green's activities. And if you find signs that Bowman violated Delta Green security, report them.
Okay.
But you kind of took care of that. So
Yeah, I mean, so theoretically, we've taken care of the evidence.
yeah, it's not in a
Yeah.
civilian's hands. It's taken care of.
Well, right. Unless somebody else with more than civilian ties comes poking, how about that? Um, we've theoretically taken care of the evidence. We have it. I would almost say maybe we do just leave it in the safe house here, because you said he gave that coordinate to Nolan, right?
For the yes.
Yeah. So like it's a safe house he's aware of, not just one that Nolan had.
Yep.
So why don't we'll lock it up here, and then at this point it's the note and the knife, and the letter, I guess.
Cool.
And do what?
Cool.
Yeah, I guess we'll. What do you think? We just camp in here, or just go get a motel?
Good either way, honestly. I almost feel safer here.
I almost wonder if it's a safe bet as well. There's no way to keep an eye out.
So you guys plan on staying at the Green Box tonight and try to contact someone at the post office tomorrow.
I think that's what we're leaning towards.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I'm definitely sleeping in shifts here.
Morning comes. Early morning, like pre-dawn, post-storm. The players, not the characters, see a scene where there's a young boy with a bright orange vest on and a older man with a bright orange vest on as well. They've got a rifle over their back, and the boy has a smaller .22 rifle slung over his. Seem to be camped out in some bushes. The little boy looks up at looks to be like his papa or grandpapa. He's like, I think I see one down there. And the grandpapa pulls out his rifle and scopes down. Your vision zooms into the scope, and you see what looks to be a deer, the hind end poking out of the bush. He's like, I'll get him. Pow! Shot goes off as the bullet goes straight through the spine, the midsection of the deer. Now you wait here. Let me go make sure it's dead. Papa walks down several tens of feet away and around the bush, and he squats down. Little boy, you've got the vision of the little boy watching him from a distance as he loses sight of his papa around the bush, squatting down. You hear the papa scream out real loud. Ah! Little boy runs, check and see what's going on, and sees that papa has a large gash on his neck, bleeding out. But he's like, "It's all right. It's all right." And look down at the deer and looks heavily disfigured, like it got hit by a car, with a nice circular wound through its spine. Papa, can we eat that? It's real messed up. Did you do that with your gun? Papa looks down. Nah, son. Nah, we don't need this. Let's go home. Let's cook us up a real good dinner. I guess breakfast. And he just kind of puts his arm around the little kid as they walk off into the woods. That's it for today.
Zombie deer became zombie dad.
Fucking deer.
Fucking deer.
So much for containing it.